the Gettysburg Museum of History studios, high atop Baltimore Street in a maximum security facility complete with central air. It's AG Today.
This is Ken Gavin.
Hi, this is Jim Hessler.
This is Dan Casella from the No Pollution of Cowardice South Jersey in the Civil War podcast.
Hi, this is Greg Elder.
Hi, this is Kelly Gormley.
Hi, I'm Nick Pascuzzi, and I'm from Pittsburgh. And I absolutely love addressing Gettysburg with Matt. Listen, he's got the greatest salmon jerky you've ever had in your life.
You're listening to Addressing Gettysburg
Today.
Gettysburg, wow. Where do you come from? Oh, hello everybody. Happy 2025. It is the new year, and we are refreshed, although we are tired from the day.
Yes.
Court, I can't see your face, and all I see is the top of your head, so you got to communicate either verbally through the intercom or give me a thumbs up when I say, is it live or recording? Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. All right, everybody, hello, welcome. It's 2025, as I said before, and we are very excited because it is no longer 2024. It was not an easy year for a lot of us for various reasons. We lost a lot of great friends. And so this year, I am declaring a moratorium on death. No one can leave us in 2025. How's that sound? I think that sounds nice.
Sure.
I like the sound of it.
Yes.
And I hope it works.
Did anybody talk to, I don't know, God?
I had a conversation with him not too long ago.
Oh, that's good.
And he laughed. So we'll see, though. I think he thought I was joking, but maybe he'll take it seriously. Anyway, it is good to be back with you guys. I have to tell you, we were supposed to do this next week. But remember, we're going to do the third Thursday of January or February.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I missed doing it, and I missed hanging out with you guys. And I said, well, let's come back. Let's come back a little earlier, and we're still going to do it once a month. But still, so I couldn't wait to get back, and I missed talking to the audience. I was doing some driving videos the other day, and everybody's in there laughing and joking, and we're talking, and I was like, I really like interacting with everybody, and I'm mostly rested. You take off for a month-ish, and then all it does is leave time for you to do other things that exhaust you, like, you getting the house set up and all that stuff. And so, but it was good stuff. It was good stuff to do. How was your break?
Very low-key. You could almost say boring, but in the best possible meaning of that word.
Yeah, like good boring.
Yeah, fantastic boring.
Right, like when you're sore after the gym and you hurt, but you say it's a good hurt.
Yeah.
Because you did something good.
Yeah. We went up to Mom's.
Okay.
And
up in Clarion.
Did nothing. It
right.
was great. We sat around our house and did nothing, and then we went to other people's houses and sat around and did nothing. It was great. Clarion.
Good. That's good. So you had a nice time. That's what you're supposed to do during the holidays, they say.
It was wonderful. It really was good.
And it was, as much of a grump as I am during the holidays. Yeah. It was still enjoyable. And then we had a housewarming.
Yeah.
And you didn't come to that. Debbie did.
I did.
Debbie came.
And it was fun.
I went up to Mom's. That's where I was.
Yeah.
But
you thought the housewarming was in January.
I did.
Yeah.
So I said to Matt, I'm like, yeah, we're definitely coming. Boobadoo, gonna be there.
Boobadoo.
And then I don't know why I texted you about something else, and I said, because I won't be here on that day. And you're like, so you're not coming to the housewarming party? I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's January 5th. Totally a different day.
No, it wasn't. That was Debbie laughing on the intercom.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was a crazy displaced laughter.
Anyway, so people, all right, Gilbert, relax. People might be wondering, because I saw somebody ask in the comment section, where's Cindy? Cindy's on her way. She had to run home and let Major out. Colby is in Montana.
Yeah.
So I think he's actually on his way home as we speak. So he is not here. And in the back, that means we have our two new members of the zoo. Court Micker is running the camera. Say hi, Court. You've been here doing that before. And some of you may know in the back corner there, that's not my nephew. That's actually a full-grown adult. That's Mike Brisky. Oh, I'm just teasing him because he looks so small in the distance. It's the lens's fault. Anyway, it's Mike Brisky, and you know his work much better. He does Civil War teas. This is the genius behind Let's Go Surprise Harry Heath, Get Off My Lawn. What other ones, Mikey? What other ones do you have? Just shout it out.
I named them all. Thank you.
That's it? I definitely named the two most popular ones, right? This is a talk show, Mikey, not a stare show.
It's weird to be so far away that when I stand up, it feels passive aggressive.
Then stand up and go over to the microphone.
Sit?
Court, hand him the microphone. Move the microphone. Come over to the mic. Okay.
Have some microphone.
Yeah.
Here he is. Hello, Matthew.
Hi, Mikey. And so Civil War Tees. How is Civil War Tees going? I see your shirts everywhere. I'm not even joking.
It's going well.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Mike, you just bought, and I don't want to embarrass you here, but you just bought a yacht.
I'd rather not talk about the.
I know it's not Don't be impressed. It's not a huge one, and and he doesn't have a crew.
It's not a big yacht, but I'm not a big guy.
Right.
It's a
skiff.
Yacht-ish.
It's a skiff.
It's a raft.
And I have it out in Rock Creek right now.
It was the lifeboat on a yacht.
Time of the year to have a yacht in Rock Creek.
Careful.
But I sprayed some beaver repellent so they don't go after the wood. So I should be okay.
Good. It's actually one of those lifeguard boats that they have at the Jersey Shore, right? Do they still have the old rope? I haven't been to the Jersey Shore in so long.
I'd imagine they do. They'd have them out, like we'd go down Sail City and they'd have like the name of the town on the side.
Yeah. And it's like this giant wooden rowboat. Remember, did you have those at your beaches that you would go to? Where would you go to the beach?
I think it's funny that you thought I went places.
Thank you, Michael.
So Lake Erie, no.
Lake Erie, that sounds smelly. Is it polluted, Lake Erie?
I don't know.
Where does Dracula go water skiing?
I was only ever there once.
You were only ever on Lake Erie once?
Yep.
Okay. Well, good. So that's where you would go. How about you? Where would you go? Lake Michigan?
Usually Lake Huron.
Lake Huron. Okay.
Michigan's on the other side of the state.
I'll make a note of that. Yeah, Huron. Okay, very good.
Yes,
we used to go to the Jersey Shore. We actually went to the Atlantic Ocean is where we went. And New York used to dump their garbage not too far off the shore, so we would get it on our shores. Straws, needle. I remember there was 2 summers in a row. There was one summer everybody wore shoes in the ocean because of AIDS-infected hypodermic needles. Everybody's afraid of getting AIDS. Nobody understood how it worked, but still, you don't want to get poked with a needle, and so, of course, nobody ever did. I think it's like when you had to. Well, it could be. You remember when you had to check your
chocolate,
your candy, Halloween candy,
and that was based on one story, and it ended up being the parent of the kid that did it.
Yeah.
But everybody freaked out, and for at least a decade, maybe a little longer, parents were always checking candy, and the news was reminding you, don't forget to check your kid's candy for razor blades and needles.
I still
we actually had incidents of that in Detroit. So
you did?
We had to take ours to the police station and have them put it through the metal detector.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep.
Well, it's Detroit.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. All right. And did you ever have anything? Did you ever find anything?
Not in mine, no.
No. Okay. So lots of stuff to catch up with you guys on here. So let me go into a couple things, and then we'll save some things for after during the news. Our guest today, by the way, is Erik Dorr from the Gettysburg Museum of History. Yeah, he's going to tell us about what exciting things he has. There he is. Exciting things.
Him looking like, a pirate with his leg up like that.
Yeah. Yarr.
The mustache.
Yeah.
The Buccaneer.
Yeah.
And he's got some updates on what they're doing at the Gettysburg Museum of History, plus some other surprises he might have. Erik is always up to something. He is a busy man.
Yeah,
He's a jet setter.
Really know when he gets time to sleep.
Well, supposedly he has time to wake up in the morning and exercise, and
that is not true.
That's what he says. That's what he tells me.
That is made up fake news.
That's what he tells me. All right, so let's go with, first of all, the good news of the day, and 6 questions if you want to go over to the microphone there. The big news of the day is, out of all of us here, the man who went on to the next round, is going on to the next tier for the guide exam. Michael, 6 questions lengths. Very good. Very good. Congratulations, Mikey. How'd you do? Do you have the results in your hand there?
I do.
All right. What are they? Tell us.
Brought them along.
Right. Well, when my score was curved, it resulted in a cumulative of 95.34%.
Wow. Wow. When it wasn't curved, it was a 62.
Wow.
What was it? What was it when it was curved?
Oh no, the curve. That's 95.34.
I'm sorry. Before
the raw score was 85.98.
So a 10% curve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Right.
Interesting.
That's why it curved. It goes like.
Yeah. No. I just
pulls everything up.
Yeah. No, I understand how it works,
That's how
but I'm talking about the percentage. Isn't that a little high?
No.
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 That's not what some of my educator friends
It indicates
said.
I wasn't the one setting the curve.
Yeah, of course not.
But I was very close to.
Of course. So, okay. So now you go on. They ask you, are you going on to the next tier?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And?
I'm going on to the next tier.
All right. Congratulations. Now, the next tier is?
It's going to be a panel interview, not in person, but virtual.
When is it? Did they give you time?
Well, they told us to give preference. They gave us a date range and time range, February 2nd to February 6th, at any time from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. And they said, write down your preference.
It's like waiting for the cable guy to show up.
Was that?
It's like waiting for the cable guy to show up.
Just about, yeah.
So, okay, why do you think it is that they're doing it virtually and not in person?
The equal playing field for everybody, especially for those who are coming from out of state.
Because we do know some people who are on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Who are going on.
Or from just a couple states over. Whoever passed that was out of state that can't make it back for this, they want to make it equal across the board.
How are they going to make it here for the guiding, actually, like when you have a license?
That's a very good question. We'll cross that bridge when we get past this tier.
You know, there's a thing when I interview people on the show, I always try to avoid Zooms. Now, we always ask, do you have plans anytime soon to come, or ever within the next year, to come to Gettysburg?
Right.
Because we'd prefer to have you in studio. Mm-hmm. And if they say, no, I live in Hawaii or whatever, then okay, then we're going to set up a Zoom. But we always try to get it in person because you can't really get a feel for somebody over a computer. So it's kind of interesting that they're doing it that way because it, for as tough as it is to get this license, you would think they'd be like, well, if you want it, you're going to fly back out here.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They want to make it equal across the board.
Right, sure.
This is the best.
That is equal.
Go about doing it.
I know you don't want to badmouth them. All right, but whatever. It's not your rule. Congratulations. We're very happy for you, and I have to also say we're very proud of you because we kind of feel like you're our winner. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because we've all known all along that you were going to move on and you were going to pass this. It was just evident to everybody. All the guides that we know, they're like, if he doesn't get it, I don't know what's up and down.
There's something wrong.
Yeah, there's something wrong with this world. And but when you and I were talking during lunch,
right?
I was like, how'd you do on the morning part? And you just kind of looked at me like, I'm not sure. I was like, I got scared. I was like, not scared because it wasn't like if Mike can't get it, then I can't get it. I didn't care to get it. I was scared for you because everybody's expecting you to get a license eventually. No pressure.
Yeah, no problem.
and so like, I was just like, oh my God, if he doesn't pass this, like I was worried that you were going to be embarrassed Because everybody's like, well, if Mike doesn't get it, Mike, that's a lot of pressure for somebody.
It is, but for me, I always assumed that going into it, failing this first time was a possibility. So this was about finding out what that test was.
Okay, yeah.
And if I made it through, great.
Sure.
If I didn't make it through, at least I know what it is.
Right.
And so knowing what it is now, I want to become a guide because I don't want to go back and do that again.
And none of us blame you.
Right. I don't blame you either for that. And then, okay, well, great. Congratulations. Now, I said to you in a text message, I said, let us do a documentary about your journey to your license. Will you let us do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to try to do that. So you got to let me know when things are coming up so I can get there with a camera and,
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Okay. And then also, though, another thing that I think we should all be very proud of.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Is our very own Debbie Jones is like a cat's whisker away from having made the cut.
Yep.
Debbie, what did you score?
I scored an 81.45.
Yes.
And tell them about the essay.
And the thing I am most proud of, so the first essay everybody had to do, and it was that you had to discuss themes of past, present, and future within the Gettysburg Address. I scored 100% on that.
Yeah.
I got all 60.
That's great. I scored a 4.
Super proud of that.
No, you did not.
I don't remember. I didn't look at the chart. I just looked at the final number.
So, yeah, from what we can tell, from what I've been able to figure out, it looks like I was the first one out.
So, right. And so, like, you're just, what did you say, 2-3 points below the lowest of the top 20?
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's so frustrating. I'm very frustrated for you.
It is, but it's so much more than I expected.
Yeah.
That I have to just be proud of myself and go, okay, so if I just work that little bit harder for the next one, I'm in. And my plan is to just freaking crush the thing and leave no doubt.
Or if somebody, decides that they don't want to, I see now, if somebody says, if that top 20, let's say 5 people say, I really can't do it. I live on the West Coast, or I live in, Spain or whatever. Or I'm moving to Spain. Whatever. I can't do it. I'm not going to be able to do it. I can't move on.
I'm moving to Spain.
Yeah. Well, job, whatever.
You never know.
Does that mean then that the park will then dip down to you? Hopefully.
From what I understand, they never have done that. However, when you had Angie on months ago, she said that was always a possibility.
So it's on the table, but it's not necessarily what they're going to do.
I'm not holding my breath for it.
Right.
So if you suddenly hear a scream of excitement, it's probably me going, OMG, they actually did it.
Yeah.
And they called me in. But unlikely. So right now, my focus is just, okay, we restart the studying process and hope that they call another test within the next year or two.
All right. And then, so Casey Turbin congratulations to you. Sorry.
Thank you.
Casey Turbin had called me a couple of nights after Mike got his results, and he goes, hey, have you gotten your results yet? And I'm like, I don't think so. And he goes, well, apparently they sent emails out to the first batch of losers. And so I was like, oh, okay. And I looked, and there was my email, and I opened it up and I started to laugh. And no, I did. I started laughing because it was actually, let me do some math here. I'm just going to round up. It was 40 points higher than I thought I was going to get. I thought I was going to get 20% correct.
Oh,
okay. Or a 20%. I actually got 59 point something or other. And I was like, now when I walked in there, I was like, if I get a 50, I'll be like, that's pretty all right for not studying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you did a bit better than that.
And that was after the curve. With the curve, I'm sorry, but the raw number was 53. So I still beat my personal goal. But here's what I learned about this whole process. And I'm glad I did it, because I don't think if this is the way they decide who is a guide, I'm really not cut out for that. People go, oh, you'd be a good guy. No, I would be. But in order to get there, I have to do all this stuff. And I was never a good student. I don't think that way. And also when Mike, said that they ask if you're going to go on to the next tier, I go, oh, they ask you if you intend to go on. And I said, well, if I had gotten it, would I go on? And the answer is no. And the reason is for the same reason I didn't study, which is I don't have the time. And I would waste if they, what do they do, Mike? They sent you up with a mentor, right? At some point.
Yeah. I think after the field practicum.
So, I would just be wasting their time because I know that the way my schedule is, I'd be like, hey, I got to reschedule with you. And they're just going to get pissed and they're going to be like, you either take this seriously. And I'm just not going to be able to do it.
I really, really want you to get hooked up with Ralph Siegel.
Oh, wouldn't that be a trip?
That would be one of the greatest pairings of ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
You and Ralph. Be like Mutt and Jeff.
Ralph might be able to get through to me. I don't know.
Ralph would tell you.
Yeah.
Like that you were being an idiot. That's what I love about him is he doesn't hold back.
Yeah, that's why I like Ralph. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So that is the deal with the guide exam. Now, some good news for people who have YouTube channels. And I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that it's frozen. And I'm so sorry that it's frozen on me instead of somebody more pleasant to look at. And I look very angry there. I don't know why. We did a live stream for the last 2 days and it hasn't frozen. I don't understand what the hell. It's like, it's this time of night. I don't get it. Anyway, the recording will be up tomorrow. So more work for me tomorrow.
I didn't think about that, but you're right. It's always around this time.
Yeah, I do live streams all week long for Patreon.
And they're fine.
This happens every Thursday night. I don't know what it is. You think it's because everybody's home, so they're all on the internet now, and so the internet's getting like jumbled up?
Does something that you have here have an automatic reset?
I don't even know why that would make it. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know either.
Anyway,
for I am not an IT person.
So I certainly am not either. So the Explore Act, you've heard me maybe talk about this in the last year. Of course, film permits were a big deal for a lot of people. It kind of pissed a lot of people off that all of a sudden they were enforcing this old ancient law that didn't really fit with 2024. It was like trying to make, 1984 fit in 2024 whenever that law was written. That wasn't on the exam, was it? Do you remember when the film permit? Okay.
That'd be hilarious.
When licensed guides became a thing, when you had to stop taking artifacts off the battlefield, but nothing about filming.
Yeah. Okay. So the Explore Act has made several different things about park access. The whole purpose of it is to allow the American people to access the property that they pay for. It's their property. It's our property. But agencies tend to get overzealous with things, and it's been very restrictive in the last several years, not just here in Gettysburg, all over the country.
The whole park.
I follow some YouTube channels who go to all national parks, and they've gotten shit from various ones. But then the other thing is other ones don't enforce it at all. So there's an unequal enforcement of the law, which is apparently not legal. And there's also First Amendment issues. I had an hour-long conversation with two staffers over the summer. They work for Congressman, I want to say it's Westerman out of Arkansas. He's one of the sponsors of the Explore Act. And we were talking about it, and she said that one of them said that, one of the things that their legal people are concerned about is First Amendment violations. And that's why one of the reasons why they're changing the film permit stuff. And every time I've brought up the First Amendment to people in power, they said, you don't even want to go there. And which tells me that they know that they were First Amendment violations all along. So it's very nice that Congress finally did something right for once. And now the way it is, according to what I read, is that if you have a crew of, I believe, 6 or less, you don't need to get a permit. You don't need to let them know you're coming. there are certain things that you have to abide by. Like you can't
trample through a restricted area.
Well, you can't go through restricted areas. You can't tell people to get out of your way.
I think you can't do certain ceremonies or something like that, like funerals or.
Oh, probably. Yeah. Unless you're part of the press or I don't know.
I don't know.
Because then there's that whole thing too. But anyway, so there's certain things you can't do. But like one of the things you can't do is ask people to move out of your shot, right? Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're any good at what you do, you don't want to go where there's a lot of people. You'll find a time to go when there are not a lot of people there so that you don't have to ask people to get out of your shot because you don't want people in your shot. You want to get the landscape or
you want
whatever.
it to be pristine.
Exactly. So, but there are people who are assholes who will go there. Will go to the angle and they'll be like, could you guys like move, go to a guide. I'm like, can you move your tour over there? Because I'm trying to get a shot of the monument, and then that's not good. So you can't do that stuff.
Can you imagine having the kahunas to do that?
There are people there. That's one of the things when I did wedding videos, some of the people I worked with, they thought they were like freaking Steven Spielberg and with the attitude that they're walking around. Like, I'm like, you're doing wedding videos. Like,
no one's winning an Oscar for this.
I don't know. My wedding would have gotten somebody an Oscar. The greatest comedy.
But anyway, so that's a good thing. Thank you, Congress, for that. Thank you, President Biden, for signing it. Got a little thing signed there before he left, and all that other jazz. Now, let's see, what time is it? It's almost 6 o'clock, so we'll get to this stuff later on. Why don't we do this? We're going to take a break. We'll come back with Erik Dorr. Ladies and gentlemen, Erik Dorr is a friend of mine for over a decade. He has been kind enough to let us use this space as our studio, and he has one of the best museums you'll ever see in your life. If you don't believe me, go look at it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This guy's artifacts coming out of his ears. I don't know where he fits it all because he's in pretty decent shape. So but he's got anyway. So we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and talk to Erik, see what we got. So we'll be right back.
If you like this podcast and what we're doing here, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming interesting history podcasts here at Addressing Gettysburg. It really helps the channel, and it's completely free. That's the best thing. It's completely free. Please help us make our goal of 25,000 subscribers by Memorial Day. Thank you very much.
Court. Are we live? Oh, we are.
We are back with Matt and Bethany on AG Today.
Wow, that's Cebollas Grande. That's Huevos' cousin. Huevos moved to West Virginia, and they don't have internet down there yet, so he's unable to. No, I just was impatient. I wanted to do it today, so I did. How'd you like that? It said your name.
It does, but I'm muted.
Oh, you're muted. Yeah, sorry.
It says my name. Let's play it again.
You want to hear it again?
You're back with Matt and Bethany on AG Today.
It's like the old Night Court theme.
It is kind of like the Night Court theme.
All right, anyway, Erik Dorr is with us today, as he is in spirit every day, deep in our hearts. Erik Dorr. Welcome, Erik.
Thank you. Thanks for having me again.
You're welcome. Welcome to your building.
Yep.
Yeah, welcome to where you own.
Well, and hopefully I won't get you shut down tonight, even though we're frozen.
Yeah, we're frozen. That might be our saving grace.
Yeah. Oh,
actually,
we could have
get some guns.
Yeah.
Last time, for those of you who don't know, Erik was on, and he brought a firearm, a historic artifact, and I brandished it in front of the camera. And you're not allowed to do that on a live stream. I didn't know that. So they stopped us and deleted the video. So we couldn't even. Luckily, we recorded it and it went up the next day, and I put something in there about how stupid YouTube is.
Yeah, it was pretty shocking.
It was.
And I was so excited because it was a carved stock M1 carbine that I just brought back from Italy. I got it from a museum over there. A GI had it carved, and it was pretty cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
And unique.
Yeah.
I wasn't here that day. I got to hear about it.
Who was here?
That
Cindy.
Yeah.
Cindy was you?
Was that the day that Uncle had the appointment? He fell down the stairs.
When you pushed him down the stairs, that's right.
When I pushed Uncle down the stairs.
Forgot that. Cindy just arrived, by the way. Hello, Cynthia.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi. Back here.
Hey.
It's very wide?
Deb.
Oh, would you turn the volume up on the speakers?
Hey, Debbie.
Okay. All right, so...
Well, Matt, I have to ask you,
Go ahead, Eric.
You know, we always talk when we're here. I'm downstairs working in the downstairs studio, and you're up here in the upstairs studio. And sometimes I ask you if you hear things or see things or anything. Did you hear anything today?
I heard... no, that was yesterday. No, I didn't hear anything today.
Well, or yesterday.
Like besides like when the alarm dings when you come in?
Yeah.
No. Why?
Well, I was over in the other building and I got a theremin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. And like I started messing with it.
Oh, I want to play with it.
Yeah, it's so cool.
What is it?
A theremin?
Yeah, it's like an instrument from the 30s, but I have a modern digital version, and I'm fascinated with them because of Led Zeppelin and Jimmy Page used one in their live shows. And today's his birthday, by the way, 81 years old.
James Page.
Happy birthday, Jimmy Page. Wow. 81 years old today and still going strong.
Good for him.
But anyway, I had it hooked up today, and I was running it through an Ectoplex digital delay, so I was making crazy noises.
Really?
And so it's kind of hard to adjust the tone and the sound and volume and everything. So, and it's new. You know, I had one years ago. It was like a build it yourself kit. Never really worked well. This thing works great.
Really? Now,
I mean,
is it a theremin with the stylus? Is like one of those electronic ones, or is it like the ones that the Beach Boys used?
It's one like the Beach Boys use or Led Zeppelin. It has the antenna, and you get close to it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
Do I know what
So
this
a
is?
theremin is this thing that plays with sound waves, right?
Yep,
And
exactly.
electromagnetic, whatever. And so if you think of the song Good Vibrations, good vibrations, right? In the beginning, there's that there's that weird instrument.
Yeah.
They use them in a lot of horror movies.
Yeah.
That's a theremin.
If you ever saw The Song Remains the Same with Led Zeppelin during Whole Lot of Love, Jimmy Page is playing with it, and it's pretty cool. But anyway, I was making a lot of noise today, and I was afraid it might be leaking into your studio, so it's good to know that the thick walls kept it.
You were doing that right downstairs?
No, I was doing it in the other building, but it was freaking loud.
I wouldn't hear that. Yeah.
And it was
I want to see
weird tones and stuff. So.
I want to see that tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you have some pretty interesting stuff here, and I've talked about this before. Now, this first thing, the letters. Do you have them on display?
Yes.
Okay. So people can go and see them there. I always said that I think that you have them, but I wasn't sure if you had them on display or not.
I have some of them on display, not all of them.
So tell us, these are the long lost Jennie Wade letters.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No. If I were kidding, I would say, what do you do with an elephant with 3 balls? You walk him and pitch to the rhino. Thank you, Court.
What did he do?
He left.
I laughed.
Yeah, I know. But
thank you.
He's the only person in the back that left.
I wanted to support you.
Thank you very much, Courtney. Yeah. I appreciate that. All right, so go ahead.
Okay, so some quick background on the Jennie Wade letters. Years ago, there was a lady, a historian that was writing a book about Jack Skelly. And it was this book, My Country Needs Me. This is the camera. Yeah. My Country Needs Me, and it's Enrica D'Alessandra. And she has to use a photo in our archive. And I forget which one it was. Anyway, one of the photos in here was out of our archive. And so I let her use it, as I usually do, and for authors and historians for free. I don't charge like some institutions. And she was in there and photographed it, and she was very grateful, and she was telling me all about the book, but she didn't tell me anything about the letters. So the book came out quite while later, and she had dropped a copy off at the museum. And I hadn't looked at it. I just looked to see if she credited the picture correctly, because a lot of times people forget to do that. And she did. She credited it to the Gettysburg Museum of History. And all of a sudden, Tim Smith bursts through the door with this in his hand. He goes, "Did you see this book?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Did you look at it yet?" And I was like, "Not really." And he goes, "She found the Jennie Wade letters." And I was like, wow, because there was, I think, one mentioned in one of Frazanito's photography books, I think early photography at Gettysburg. So we always thought there might be more, Well, she found them. She contacted Jack Skelly's descendants, some of the relatives of his brother. I guess it was Daniel Skelly's relatives. And he goes, "You need to call her. You need to find out where they're at, and you need to try to get them."
Yeah.
So I did. I called her and I said, "Where did you get these?" And she said, "Well, I got it from the relatives." And I said, "How'd you find them?" She goes, "Ancestry.com." And this was a long time ago too. This, now you wouldn't even ask that question, but this was 12 years ago, 13, 14 years ago. It was a long time ago. I can't even remember. So anyway, I said, "Well, can I call them?" And she goes, "Why?" And I said, "Well, I want to try to get those letters for the museum." She goes, "Well, you should try, because they're just at their house, So I called them, and they said, "Well, we've been thinking about doing something with them, and we'll come down and talk to you." So they brought them down. Of course, I'm freaking out. They're amazing. And I was trying to talk them into selling them to the museum, because we do purchase items sometimes. And they weren't ready to do that. And I said, "Well, what about putting them on loan?" So they did. They put them on loan for quite a long time. And but they weren't quite sure. They're like, "Well, are you going to display them? What are you going to do?" It was all this back and forth. And just to show you real quick, here's one of the letters. And a lot of them have the envelopes.
Here, I'll hold it to the camera. You just talk.
Yeah. And the interesting thing is, some of them are signed Jennie Wade with a J. Some of them are Jennie with a G. Okay. And some of them are signed Mary Virginia Wade. So, the controversy about how you say her name or what was proper. She didn't even know. Yeah, she didn't even know. So any one of those three ways are correct. So I get to this stuff here, and there's two letters, and there's actually three, I think, that says Jennie Wade letters. I'll need that back.
Sure.
So they were censored by Daniel Skelly, and it says Jennie Wade's letters, just boy and girl chatter of no interest to prying and critical eyes, or something like that.
Oh, so Mary Virginia.
So they censored some of the letters.
Wow.
But the wild thing about it was, when I was looking at this note, I turned it around, and it has a member number, and I think it's a ballot from the Oddfellows or the Masonic Hall. I can't remember which. And it has my great-grandfather, Edward Peffer's autograph on it. So Daniel Skelly might have been voting for him for one of the officer positions or something like that. And I knew my great-grandfather was friends with Daniel Skelly, because he had some of his books.
Right.
And I knew that. My grandfather had talked about his father being friends with him. And I told them, I said, "This is my great-grandfather's autograph, and do you realize right now you are standing in his home?" And they were like, "Whoa." It was, and it kind of freaked me out. It was really, it was wild.
How cool is that, though? Like, that your great-grandfather knew him, and now you are in possession of those letters with his signature on the back. And excuse me, in the house that he lived in.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So
where your museum is the house that he lived in?
My great grandfather, yeah.
That's so
Edward
cool.
Peffer, yeah. So anyway, that was really a neat coincidence. And anyway, they were on loan for a long, long time. And recently they called me up and said they were gonna possibly do something with them. So we were able to obtain them. We actually purchased them from the family, so we now own them, and they're not going anywhere. So, because I was always worried, like they would come by, every couple years and like redo the contract that we had. It was like 5 years with an option to renew or something that. So I'd always be like waiting for that day when they say, well, we're going to take them back and put them in a major auction or something like that. Or, I was always afraid of losing them. But now that's why I like to buy items when I can, because loans are great, but then they go. And, you get real attached to this stuff.
This is so cool, though. There's actually the envelope with the stamp and the address on it to Mr. Johnston H. Skelly, Company, what is that, F, 87th Regiment, Pennsylvania Volunteers, Winchester, Frederick County, Virginia. And then it's got a Gettysburg stamp, February, it looks like 23rd, maybe 26th. It's hard to tell. It's smudged.
This is the 22nd, I believe.
22nd. Yeah. She wrote the letter on the 22nd, so that makes sense. This might be the 23rd that she mailed it.
Right.
That is so cool. That is so cool. So this would have been something that he carried with him then. Right.
So the way they got back to the family was, he was mortally wounded. And he lingered for a while, and then in that time that he was lingering, I believe Jennie Wade was killed, and his brother Daniel Skelly and his father went down to retrieve the body that was down in Virginia, and so they brought his remains back, and on his body and with his things were the Jennie Wade letters, so they were with him when he died. And he kept them with him.
And what's funny here? It's hard to read because it's in pencil and it's very faint, but
they are transcribed in this
in the book.
Yeah,
she talks about, and where I just saw here, it is snowing. Here, the snow is about 6 inches. Like we still have the same conversations today. Mm-hmm. I was talking to my dad on the phone the other day. He's like, "Did you get snow?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, we got about 7 inches up here." I'm like, "I think we only got like 4. I'm not sure." Like we're having a conversation about
snow,
the inches of snow.
Yeah,
because life is boring.
The pen scribble is the redacted part. Is that
that's also some censoring.
Have you tried to read past it?
A little bit, but it's kind of difficult. But it may be important. I mean, I'm sure there's maybe 1 or 2 of your viewers or your listeners that may not know who she was. Jennie Wade was a Gettysburg civilian who was killed during the Battle of Gettysburg while patriotically helping Union soldiers by baking bread. She also filled their canteens on the first day when they were retreating through the town. So in my eyes, she's a real patriot, and she has a big monument in Evergreen Cemetery, and they do tours of her house, and they kind of, in my opinion, made it into just a ghost thing at this point, which is kind of sad to me. And some of the ghost tour people, I hear them, I overhear them. I always listen to ghost tour people when I go by.
Sure.
Yeah. and they say horrible things about her because also at the same time, another civilian became very, very, famous during or after the Battle of Gettysburg because he fought in the Battle of Gettysburg, and that's John Burns. And he didn't like Jennie Wade or the family because he was constable, and he put her father in jail or whatever. And I believe her father was not a good person at all. He raped a woman at gunpoint, according to Tim Smith. And I think that's true. So he thought they were like a bad family. He called her a she-rebel because her real name was Mary Virginia Wade. Her sister's name was Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia, Alabama Wade.
Yeah, but she was dating. she was dating a Union soldier, and she was a patriot. She helped Union soldiers. She wasn't helping Confederate soldiers. She was helping Union soldiers.
You know who Jack looks like in that picture? Who does he look like to you? Famous person of the modern day.
We used to say James Glessner.
Who the hell is that?
The guy that used to work at the bookstore. He used to have Ten Roads Publishing. Jimmy Ten Roads.
I never knew him.
Jimmy Ten Roads.
But I'm thinking somebody that most people would know is Lowell from. Is it Lowell? Thomas Hayden Church, the actor from Wings, played the dumb brother. Oh. Look at him. Imagine Thomas Hayden Church with a mustache.
It does kind of.
It does look like him. Yeah. What's the name of the book there? Read it to me one more time because somebody asked where they can get it.
My Country Needs Me: The Story of Corporal Johnson Hastings Skelly Jr.
Available at the Gettysburg Museum of History and the website GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com.
I want to read the redacted part.
So there you go. That's your answer there. Whoever asked, you can go to GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com or
the museum store.
Come to the museum and get it and check out the museum. Yeah, so now the redacted part is just scribbled out. They didn't actually cut it out.
Yeah, some of it's cut out and some of it's scribbled.
So no, I think you haven't tried to.
The really juicy part was cut out. But some of it was also scribbled out.
Yeah. So I guess is the scribbled part
the word
not that bad.
lies. I picked out the word lies.
Oh.
The scribbled out is, I guess, maybe R-rated, and the cutout part may be too sensitive for 19th century eyes.
I forget where I heard this, but it probably was Tim. I seem to remember a story that Jack's mother was writing to him saying, your girl Jenny's keeping company with all these boys. She's a hooer.
George Weiner.
And Jack wrote back and he said, Mama dear, I spoke with Jenny. Well, I wrote about it with Jenny. We discussed it, and I'm satisfied with her answer. And you need to stop with this gossiping.
Right?
Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's right. And I've heard that from Tim as well.
Yeah, so it might be maybe the word lies is in there because she's like, it's all lies, Jack. It's all lies.
About somebody being sick, but I don't think he was that sick.
Maybe what we should do, you can probably scan it and go into Photoshop and like adjust the contrast. So it'll be easier.
And I find it interesting that the part that's crossed out, it appears to be in ballpoint, which means it was
like
done much later, maybe by Daniel Skelly's granddaughter,
something.
Ballpoints didn't really come into use so much until the 50s.
50s or 60s, I thought, Well, that's interesting. Did you bring anything else?
Yeah, I mean, how much time do we have?
Yeah, like 10 more minutes.
Okay, well,
somebody said something about somebody and they think it's a lie. It's pretty much what I'm picking up.
So it's gossip.
It's gossip.
Town gossip. Probably somebody said something about her and she's like, it's not true, Jack.
Well, if somebody said they were sick and then they got out of the army.
Oh, you know what I mean? Cowardice.
Maybe.
Okay.
So I got something else pretty cool here that I don't think I've ever really done anything. And this is not on display because it's a book and it's too hard to display stuff like that. But JD and I just did a video about it, so it'll be dropping soon.
I was just going to say, I like that you don't have it on display because then we are the only ones that have it. You're like, oh no, JD and I.
Well, it hasn't dropped yet, but this is the first time I think anybody's really seeing it. But this is the original roll book from the Gettysburg Orphanage.
Ooh.
And it says in it Frank Humiston, and it has all the names. And I don't think this is anything. Well, I know this hasn't, but I don't think that these names are published anywhere. And
where did you find that?
Yeah.
So the people who owned it were actually my distant cousins.
Of course they were.
Yeah, I'm related.
She's related to the whole. Yeah.
So anyway, and that's how we got the General Meade chair as well. She had General Meade's chair because her, the lady who owned it's grandfather and my great-great-grandfather were brothers. So Fred Peffer, the one that found the relics on the battlefield, people who know that story, his brother's name was now it escapes me, but he was the caretaker at the cemetery at Evergreen Cemetery.
Okay.
And which is right next to the Meade's headquarters. So he bought that chair from the lady
Lydia Leister.
Yes, at Meade's headquarters. But anyway, she had all the stuff from the orphanage.
Now, was she involved with the orphanage? Or?
No, she just bought the building in I think they're in the 1940s or 50s or something like that.
Oh, not Lydia Leister.
No, I'm talking about the orphanage now.
Yeah, okay, okay.
So, yeah, sorry, it gets a little confusing with all these family things. But anyway, it's got all the kids' names, where they were from. I don't know if you want to hold that up.
Oh my
it is okay to hold paper without gloves, just clean hands. I know Matt's hands aren't clean, but
constantly am picking my nose. Okay, so here we got some. It's faint, so I'm trying to get the glare off of the page there. It says these are the kids who were
in the orphanage.
The orphanage.
Look at how many names there were.
I know.
Yeah.
Napier Robinson. That's a good name.
That's a great name.
Americus Mitchell. I like these names. Willie Wise, John Wise, Morris Masters. Where are the Humiston kids? No, this isn't alphabetized.
Well, it has Frank's name. I think he was helping his mother run it in the early days.
Oh,
yeah.
It's in the inside cover here, Frank.
Yeah.
Very nice handwriting, Frank. And what's this little piece of paper in here?
That was in there, so it's one of the names, I think.
I was the only inmate of the homestead at Gettysburg. Something about the 1st of January, 1878 until June 5th, 1878. H. Burns? Bernie? Burns?
Yeah.
Burns. Wow. That's so cool,
Pretty
though.
cool. But anyway, and for those that don't know, the orphanage was started after the Battle of Gettysburg for orphans of the Civil War. And it ran for a while, and then there was a scandal. There was some abuse there, and it eventually shut down. And that building is now basically, well, there was two of them. There was the first one that's that was the first building that was I forget the exact date range, but then they had a second building which is now the cat diorama, which I love, by the way. So
yeah,
yeah,
it's very cool. We got to get them on.
Yeah, oh yeah, you should.
Because have you guys in the back? Have you been to the cat diorama? Debbie, I'm sure you have, right? Because you love cats.
I have not.
Court, you haven't?
I have not.
You have to go to that.
Oh my gosh, it's so cool.
Why? Because
Tell me why.
Okay, well, because
Tell me why.
it's all these dioramas of the battle, but it's all
But it's
cats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's handmade. Like they make everything by hand, and it's just you would be impressed by the talent and the dedication to doing this because they've been doing it their whole lives, and you would love it. I just think
they're so into it.
An artistic person, I think you would appreciate it. Mikey, have you gone there?
I'll give it a shot.
No, I haven't.
You haven't?
But I like cats. I mean, it makes no sense I haven't been there.
It makes no sense. What?
That I have not been there, Matthew.
This is so sad.
What, the cat museum?
No,
She's reading the journal.
reading about the orphans.
So, since we're running out of time, I really wanted to bring this out. This is the coolest artifact I have, and it's not really an artifact yet, but what this is the actual plans for the new Gettysburg Museum of History. Yeah, so we're gonna demo part of the inside of the building. It's upside down. And I had a Zoom meeting today with the structural engineer and the architect and everything.
You know what you could do is hold it up to the overhead shot there.
Here.
So
I have no idea.
See the camera up there?
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
So there you go.
So we had a Zoom meeting today, so we're plugging along. We're going to have to start fundraising because it's going to be a lot of money.
No
Costs a
kidding.
lot of money to do demo in a building. But no, we have to put some barriers up because we're knocking down a retaining wall and stuff like that. But, it's the first stage. We're going to do some demo work and open it up and make it flow a lot better.
And this is going from the front building to the back building, right? Is that what I'm looking at here?
I can't see.
They both say first floor, so I'm assuming that it's... Oh, yeah. Wait.
It's the same thing. It's just without the wording.
Oh, it's numbers.
These are the existing... So
This is the demo plan. This is the new construction.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, I see. Okay. Gotcha.
So I'm real excited. We kind of jumped the gun announcing this because everybody's when's it open? Well, it's going to be a while. It takes a long time to do it right. We're planning on trying to do it right, doing it correctly, so we don't have to. I could just throw glass cases in there like I did the old museum, and it would be cool. But we're trying to make something more on the lines with some of the other more modern museums, but it's going to have an old museum feel. We're going to do a replica of GAR Hall in there that's going to look all 19th century.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. So we got big plans, a lot of cool stuff.
When's it open?
We don't know. Give me money and find out. We're going to do a fundraising campaign and hopefully we'll start some construction this spring. That's meaning the demo work. But it takes a long time. Are you going to
be closed when it demos?
No, because we're doing it here.
Okay.
My existing museum's next door.
It's going to be the building up front. And
I know that, but I'm looking at that. It looked like there might be some demo work.
No.
Up front too.
Yeah. up front, not at the other building, not at his current museum.
Oh,
it's this property. Yes,
I'm sure.
Never mind. I'll shut
I'm
up.
sure it will annoy Matt at some point because he'll be.
Oh
in
my
here.
God, I can't wait.
I'll be like shaking as they're knocking down walls.
Exactly.
That'd be interesting. But you know what? I'll be in here. I could have a camera. I could always get the progress. But you also have the security cameras. You probably have to take them down.
Oh,
some
of them
might, yeah.
But you could always set one up.
You can move them around.
Yeah,
they're easy. We got a wireless system
right.
now.
It would be really cool to do like a progress. What do you call it? Time lapse.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Are you working with a
set to the Benny Hill theme?
Yeah, that would be great.
Are you working with like a museum design company, or are you?
Well,
kind of the
we're
designer?
looking for people to do that. I have talked to one person, and we're hoping his schedule will fit in our schedule. See, when you hire people like that, you kind of have to say, well, we have a timeline, and we just, until we can do the demo work, we don't really have much of a timeline. And the person I was talking to before has another job right now that they're doing. So I have talked to some. I'm maybe looking for bids on another. So if anybody wants to help
on another, what? I was reading a comment.
Meaning the museum design, the actual design part of it. Yeah,
I got a guy for you who does that for a living.
Yeah, you were telling me. That's
I'll put you in touch with him.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we were doing, and I'm pretty excited about it. And the other thing I was gonna probably drop tonight was, we always go to the Louisville show, and it's called the Show of Shows. It's the world's largest military show, and I always go with Andy Biggio from the Rifle, or the last 2 years, I guess we did that. And he brings vets, or I used to bring vets, but I don't really have access to them like he does anymore. Most of the guys I knew passed away. But we're going to have 2 vets that are confirmed. And we're also bringing in Dale Dye.
Yes, famous Captain Dale Dye.
Yes. So he wrote the foreword to my second book, Fierce Valor. Mm-hmm. And of course, he was the guy who pretty much made Band of Brothers in my opinion. He had the boot camp for the actors, and he was also involved with Platoon and Saving Private Ryan and Forrest Gump, and he was actually acting in a couple of those movies as well. He played Colonel Sink in Band of Brothers.
Right.
Real excited. His schedule actually lined up this time, and I didn't want to say anything until I knew 100%, but he's got a plane ticket and everything, so he's coming.
He's going to be here.
Yeah, and I toured Europe with him one time on a tour, a Band of Brothers type tour. And he's great. He's like in character all the time.
Yeah.
Like on the bus, like, all right, get up on the bus. Go. He's great, and great personality. Been very helpful for my book. I mean, when he wrote that foreword for me, I think it really helped. And he's quite an accomplished author himself. I forget he's written at least 20 books, I think.
Wow.
And he writes really well. I mean, I love the foreword to Fierce Valor. When I got that thing back from him, I was like, wow, this is great. Yeah. And he got it back really timely, too. Like, I was thinking, he's doing it.
That never happens.
Yeah, he's Hollywood, people. But he's not a Hollywood guy. So, he's not at all. But yeah, I'm very excited about that. I've been working on that for a while, or I had the idea for a long time. And, those guys have a lot of things on their plate, so it's hard to get them to commit and go. And
well, the audience can tell you're excited. Marie Bingaman says, we can hear the excrement in your voice, Eric. Oh, sorry. I hate progressive lenses. Excitement.
Right on.
In your voice.
Very excited.
No, they can tell that, and everybody seems to be excited about it, too. Super exciting, someone says. Someone else says, bravo. Grant is pretending to be me, and he says, right. Grant, don't do that. So... when is the new museum opening?
Oh my God.
I'm just teasing.
Yeah.
We all know. All right. So you can get the Jennie Wade book at Gettysburg Museum of History.com, or when you come to town and you go into the museum, you go to the bookstore in the back it's still in the back, right?
Right.
It's in the back of the museum.
And you get the book back there. And then also you can get Erik's book, Fierce Valor and Hang Tough, both that he wrote with, both with Jared Frederick, of course. We all know him from his YouTube channel and many other exciting things that he does.
Shout out to Jared.
Shouting out to Jared.
And I got something else for you.
Okay. Go ahead.
So right before I came here, we got a call, or actually Becky, the manager, got a call. And it was a guy who was so excited because he had watched a video. JD and I went to Germany about 2 years ago and did a series on Germany and Dachau. And one of the videos at Dachau, we stated that I believe it was the 45th Division, who was one of the liberating American units that got in there first, didn't have a plaque. And they didn't have a plaque because there were some war crimes that happened. When they got in there, they saw what those guys were doing. They rounded up some of the German guards, and some stuff happened. Some bad stuff happened.
Right.
I'll just put it that way. I don't want to get you shut down, but they didn't get a plaque, which I always thought that was stupid. I mean, in my opinion, those SS guards had it coming.
Sure.
So
I agree.
Anyway, this guy saw the video that was on the History Underground. And his dad was one of the vets that liberated. And he's also ex-military, or retired military, I should say. And from that day, he said he was so excited because this must have just happened. He made it his mission to get that plaque put up, correct that injustice. And so the plaque is going up April 29th, I believe.
Very good.
And he said it was because of JD's video and the series that we did there.
JD changing history.
Well, I called JD and he was blown away. And I said, JD, we got to go. We got to go to that dedication. I mean, really. But the film festival's like the next week, but we'll see. There's always
this is more important.
Yeah, there's always stuff going on, So
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's amazing.
How many times in your lifetime are you going to go to that plaque being dedicated with the son of the guy who, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there'll be a film festival next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like a guy watches a video, he doesn't know a certain little fact, and he's passionate about it because it was his father. His father was one of those liberators, and he corrected that wrong. I mean,
that's why
that's incredible.
The fact that they're willing to put it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he said he had to, use some motivation.
Pull some strings.
Yeah, and the fact that he was retired military, I think, helped too. And he was probably involved with the Division Association, and a lot of times gone by. So I think they didn't put it up at the time because they were prosecuting people for war crimes. The Germans, so like Americans did some bad stuff. So I guess they just didn't want to cause a problem or whatever. But yeah, the plaque's going up.
And that's like another example of why, it shows, people that do history that aren't, with all due respect, aren't the federal government or some, nonprofit, and they're just people who love, grassroots, right? That's what I was looking for. That's where you find this stuff. That's how these things happen. It's people doing things that people do, people following interests, people
like
sharing interests,
finding those letters.
Exactly.
I mean, she just used a passion to look up people, and
she had a passion for Jack Skelly, so she wanted to tell his story, and she did.
And
Good for her.
and it ends up in the hands of a private museum owner, not a nonprofit museum owner, not the federal government.
We're a nonprofit now.
No. But I mean, like a giant, gazillionaire nonprofit.
Yeah.
Not the federal government. They would probably destroy it or just hide it, throw it in some corner, and it won't be unearthed for years. So here you can actually see it, because I don't know. I think that the grassroots is a more genuine thing, and real small mom and pop.
You can feel the excitement behind it.
So,
more than you
donate your cool stuff to the Gettysburg Museum of History, not those other
there you
guys.
go.
I have no cool stuff.
I have a piece of JFK's skull.
Whoa.
No, I don't. If I did, you'd have it.
Better believe it.
Listening to you talk about your family and everything, I was sitting here thinking, do I have anybody that when I go and I think to myself, I'm related to that person, or that person's connected to this person? I have none.
No, I have a criminal. A criminal calorie was sent to Australia when it was a penal colony.
Wow,
that's what we have.
That's cool.
I'm somehow
our big
I'm
claim to
related
fame.
to Jimmy Stewart.
That's cool.
That's better than what I got.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you grow up?
In Clarion, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
She's from Clarion.
If you haven't heard.
Yeah.
He's
Did you
gonna
know that?
play. He's
No.
gonna play the
Well,
thing.
now I'm not because you called attention to it, and I was just going to sneak it in there, but it's over now. Thank you, Charlie.
thought of that.
You know, Charlie went
I'm
to
from
Clarion
Clarion.
University.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So just saying.
Anyway,
In Western PA, nothing. It's not that nothing exciting ever happened. It's just that my relatives all seem to have addictions to alcohol and have not done anything.
my great uncle
too
pissed on a
exciting.
fire hydrant once. Coming out of a
Somebody in
bar.
my family, a great somebody killed himself accidentally by being drunk and falling out of a wagon and accidentally shooting himself.
Wow.
That's the biggest story I got.
Don't laugh at that. Why are you laughing at that? It's a sad story.
My laughs are so annoying.
All right, listen. I can't wait for the museum to
I know,
the new
very
museum to open. Yeah,
me too.
Yeah. But how can people donate?
They can go to our website, Gettysburg Museum of History.com, and you go over to the foundation. There's a section called Foundation, and you can donate through there, through, I think it's PayPal, or you can send a check, which is better because then we don't eat the fees. So send a check, but make sure it's Gettysburg Museum of History Foundation, because that'll go to the museum project. That's where all that money is going right now. If it just says Gettysburg Museum of History, it just goes to what we've always been doing, the maintenance of the museum. So Gettysburg Museum of History Foundation, mail that check, 219 Baltimore Street, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, 17325.
Yeah, the wording on the check is very important.
There you go.
Very, very important.
Eric, thank you for bringing all that stuff in. That was very cool.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back.
I would like to.
Well, keep going. The music's playing, but keep going.
I would like to keep looking at stuff.
Sure.
Okay. We'll be right back after these words.
You'll be right back. But will we? Stick around and find out.
The Gettysburg Museum of History, located right here in the center of Gettysburg, PA. Owner and curator Erik Dorr grew up here and has spent his life collecting and preserving history through artifacts ranging from the Civil War, the Battle of Gettysburg, World War II, presidential items, pop culture, and more. His museum is free and open to visitors Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 5 p.m., where you can stop by and immerse yourself in some of the most amazing artifacts that you would never believe exist in the middle of Gettysburg. If you're a fan of Band of Brothers and Everything Easy Company, you'll love his exhibit featuring the Dick Winters collection and artifacts from D-Day. You can even own your own piece of history by buying one of the many relics they have for sale in the museum and on the website GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com. The Gettysburg Museum of History is a non-profit 501c3 organization with a foundation that allows all purchases and donations to keep the museum operating and open free of charge. They have been featured on the History Channel, the Travel Channel, the Smithsonian Channel, and the Science Channel. Now you can check them out on American Artifact, the series on the YouTube channel, The History Underground. So that's the Gettysburg Museum of History at 219 Baltimore Street or the GettysburgMuseumofHistory.com.
Okay. Hey, guess what? Guess what's back? Guess what's back, everybody? Anybody want to guess? How about in the back there? Mike, Debbie, anybody want to guess what's coming back?
No idea. What's coming back?
How about you guys in the back? 6 questions? Got a guess?
The show?
No. The show is back. What's coming back in February? Anybody have a guess?
Taco trivia.
Tacos and trivia at the Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center, Saturday, February 15th. Bring your loving sweetheart out, 6 o'clock to 8:30 p.m. Join us for another lighthearted evening of family-friendly general trivia, but not about generals.
Oh, for prizes, a taco bar will be provided by the Ragged Edge Catering. This evening is BYOB. The water, lemonade, and iced tea will be included, so bring your own booze. Registration is individual, but you may register up to 6 total people, which would be a full team at one time. Listen, last year we did this. Let's see, who was there? Mike was there, Debbie was there, right?
Yep.
Not Mikey B, though. Mikey B wasn't there. You're going to be there this time, Mikey, right?
Very possibly, maybe.
I think you should. You'll have fun. It was a lot of fun. Debbie was there. I'm sorry. Bethany was there. Cindy was there. Colby and Taylor were there. Veronica was there. Who else was there? Kath was there with Veronica. Trivia. What's that?
We were robbed.
We were robbed of a victory.
Yeah.
Because Taylor, I think it was Tayller, right? She, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, it was Taylor's fault. Okay, so what? It wasn't Taylor's fault?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Taylor was right.
Taylor was right.
And
it was Colby's fault.
Wrong.
No, we were
Old
right. You go by the questions. It's our
the 1985 version of Trivial Pursuit.
So what you have to do is you've got to go to the Seminary Ridge Museum's website, which is seminaryridgemuseum.com. And sign up there. You could also call 717-339-1300 or email them info@seminaryridgemuseum.com. Listen, honestly, folks, it's a lot of fun. We have a great time. Bring whatever booze you want. Have fun with it. Enjoy yourself, because we're going to do the same thing. And let's see who wins. May the best team win. We'll see you in February. Don't forget, February 15th, tacos, trivia, and love.
If this show has done anything for you in a positive or negative way, would you like and subscribe and share? You may hate it, but someone else might like it. Welcome back to AG Today.
All right, sexy. Sade is in the house. Oh, it's AG Today. Oh, you don't even have your cans on.
I don't. Sorry, I was.
All right.
Getting ready.
You were getting ready for the news. That's okay. So there's other things that we need to let you guys know. Now, again, we're not going to be doing this until probably we'll stick with the third, maybe second Thursday in February. Some things changing here with AG Today. One of the things is that it's when it comes back to being weekly in March, we're going to do it on Patreon, but it will be free on Patreon. So if you're not a patron, you can still watch it on Patreon without being a patron. I'm not sure if you still have to create an account over there. I don't think so. In fact, I'm almost certain you don't, but you should anyway, because eventually you're going to want to support your buddies over here at Addressing Gettysburg. And so the reason why we're doing it over there is because I think, honestly, it does, it confuses people putting it on the main YouTube channel with the history shows. Once in a while, not very often, because most people have a brain and they get it. But once in a while, you'll get people that'll say, I don't understand, where's the history? And so, yeah. And then also, it seems that the core group of people who interact with the show on a regular basis in the comments section are patrons. And so I figure, okay, well, clearly, the patrons are the ones who are really into this stuff because they're paying monthly and everything like that. So they're participating, pardon me, they're participating in the comment section. We'll do it for them. And so it won't be available for free on YouTube, but it will be available for free on Patreon. Okay? Do you understand?
No, but that's okay.
Well, it's just because putting it on YouTube with a bunch of history shows and people coming looking for history, they get confused. Also, if this is the first show you see, Mikey, you get it, right? Because we were talking about this before.
No, it totally makes sense.
Help me explain it in a better way.
No, I think you were saying if it's the first thing you come across on YouTube and you're looking for things like Ask a Guide or stuff like that, you might not come back to it again.
Right. It in other words, like...
okay.
Because people,
Are you trying to say people don't like me?
No. People don't like me.
And I think it's that there's a religiosity to history. A lot of people have,
no, 100%.
right? And so you can't joke about it. You can't have fun. And so the patrons get it. Now, there's only 530 patrons, right? But the show, typically gets like around 1,000 views a week. So obviously, there's more people who are not patrons who are watching. But if they really like it, then they can go over to Patreon.
It's me watching it on repeat.
It's you watching it over and over again,
making sure that I didn't say anything stupid.
Yeah, how's that working?
Not well.
Oh, that's not true. So anyway, that's that there. So when we come back in March, it'll be weekly. It'll be over on Patreon. We're still going to have,
things in the place in the thing.
No, we're still going to have a frozen screen. That is so annoying. I don't understand why it's doing that, because we did 2 live, right, Mike? Did you do both of them? Yeah, you did.
We
didn't
did
you?
Gary and Charlie, and it worked fine. But
Yeah, Gary and Charlie, we did it, and it worked fine. We had no problem with either one of them.
During the day?
Yep, it was during the day. You were switching cameras, right? It wasn't that we weren't.
yeah, that
sitting-
hasn't changed.
It's like something that happens between 5:30 and 6.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing. I don't know what it is, because we don't do anything different to the system. Like we're overtaxing it. It's all the same thing.
It's my face.
Well, wouldn't be the first time I've heard that. Wouldn't be the first time I've heard that. Hey, by the way, I didn't do an ad for it, but I want to tell everybody thank you for your continued purchases of Little Ground Top.
Mm-hmm.
It is taking the world by storm. They can't keep up with your orders. Well, they can keep up with your orders. They can't keep up with the demand in the store. And here's how it works, and this might help you out here. Okay, so I talked to Chad the other day, and I told him, you got to come on the show. And he's like, I don't really like doing that. And I go, well, you're going to have to, because this is an internet world. So you got to come on the show and let people know who you are. So Monday, he's going to come in, and we're going to do some stuff. That's me being supportive.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, he goes, I say, how's this all work, right? You put, 12 bags out a week? He goes, right. We put out 12 bags. I do my roasting on Friday. The bags go out. A lot of people have been telling me, I went in there Saturday afternoon. I don't know if they talk like this, but they're writing it. I went in there Saturday afternoon, and they were all at a Little Ground Top. And this is the second weekend that I've come up in 2 months, and they're at a Little Ground Top. So here's what you do. If you're in town and you want to go buy a bag or two or whatever, the sweet spot is like late in the day Friday, early morning Saturday. Mm-hmm. If it's a busy weekend, they're going to sell out quicker than normal. If it's a blah winter weekend and nobody's in town,
Like this
coming weekend, you probably are going to be okay. But I wouldn't bank on it. Best thing to do is order online from addressinggettysburg.com/cafe. That's CAFE for those of you who don't know how to spell. And order it there. And I would get like 2, maybe 4 bags, because in that way, when you run out, and you will run out, obviously, you just have it there. And you don't have to worry, because here's what happens. So they, on the end of business on Wednesday, everything that was ordered from Thursday morning to that moment is packaged up and shipped out by Saturday morning. Mm-hmm. Okay.
With what they make on Friday.
With what they make on Friday. That's right. And so if you say want to get a little, you're having a party on Saturday and you want to have coffee for dessert, and you want to have Little Ground Top, right? No, we're doing the ad. I didn't realize that. So you want to have Little Ground Top. Okay.
Yeah.
For the dessert. And so you
bring it down,
you order a bag, right? And you're like, well, it's Tuesday. I'm going to order a bag now. It's probably going to get there Sunday.
Yeah.
Or Monday, because they ship it Saturday. Mm-hmm. Okay. Or Friday night, but Saturday is when it gets on the road. So you're not going to get it in time. You got to get it in at least, if you have an event 2 weeks before, just to be safe. If you order on a Thursday, it's not coming till the following week. So that's how it works. So they package and ship on Fridays. And then there's also, if you're in Alaska, it's going to take longer than if you're in Baltimore. You understand?
Well, I don't know.
What?
I recently sent something to my mother, which is 4 hours from here, and it took 3 weeks to get there.
That's Clarion.
That's Clarion. Because there's
She
a
lives in Brookville, thank you very much.
I'm sorry, that's Brookville. I apologize.
It's a circuitous route to get to Clarion.
Yeah.
There's no straight shot.
Whee!
Anyway, so that's what you do. AddressingGettysburg.com/cafe. It's the same price either way. So it's not a difference there. But it's just going to be easier for you because, of course, nobody's wasting a trip. I'll just go into Gettysburg to get a little ground top. Nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
But while we're here, you know, a lot of people want to get it. But it is going very well, and I want to thank everybody for that because Bantam and myself, we're tickled pink.
Yeah.
Just like the Bantam logo. We're tickled pink.
Well, I thought it was really cute because when I was over at your house the other day for dessert, you guys had the little ground top there for people to have, and I thought that was cute. I was like, oh.
Well, and we went to Ralph Siegel's Christmas party, and we brought a bag and a bottle of wine. And when I walked in the kitchen, his wife...
God, Ralph just texted me
Oh,
right when you said that.
His wife saw the bag of little ground top, and she freaked out. She's like, I love this. I send Ralph into town to get it for me every week. And she's like, look. And she opens up her cabinet there, and there's a bag of little ground top already.
He said, you guys know we can hear you, but not see you.
Yes, Ralph. Thank you. Ralph, believe me, people tell us the minute it freezes, and it's been frozen for 4 hours already. But thank you, Ralphie.
He's adorable.
I thought he was gonna show up.
I don't know.
Well, he didn't.
Did you know, Ralph, that you're my favorite? In case you were wondering.
So another thing to look forward to here, ladies and gentlemen, is during this time, January and February, we are re-releasing old episodes of Ask a Guide and old winter lectures. So you're going to have a lot of stuff coming out in January and February. And the old Ask a Guides, that was Grant's idea. So let's give Grant a big round of applause.
Good job,
because he
Grant.
finally had a good idea and a good contribution to everything here.
Grant's actually been saying nice things on the comments today, and I don't know if it's because he's ill.
I think he's been kidnapped, and it's somebody pretending to be
Is
him.
this you trying to tell us that you're in duress?
Yeah.
Let us know. Give us the high sign, like 2 wink emojis or something.
So Ralph said in the comment section, you guys know we can't see anything except Matt's dome. Anyway, so we've got those coming out. Grant said, he goes, you got a whole bunch of, I can't do Australian. He goes, you got a whole bunch of old episodes. And when you get new listeners, they probably don't go all the way back to the beginning.
That's
Some
true.
do. Some do. Some tell me they do, but most probably don't.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, this would be a good opportunity for you to re-release old episodes. And I have. And so far people have been like, oh, I never heard that one. And so it's working out. So that's what we're doing there. In the meantime, all year long, we're going to be preparing for something big that we're going to do in January and February of next year. And so that is going to hopefully be funded by the Digital History Pioneers Foundation, which is that foundation that Tim Day has so kindly formed for us. He's working on the website, so people will be able to donate via the web as well. But I'll talk to him and see if he's ready to receive checks. If you want to mail checks in, but it's going to cost a pretty penny if we can do it anywhere close to what I'm imagining. But I think we could get it done. Go ahead.
Remind me when this is done. I have a book for you about nonprofit
Thank you.
stuff. Okay.
And also, yes, Grant just pointed this out in the comments section. We are are we at 14,000 yet? Oh my God. Are we at, he just said 4,000 new subscribers in 1 month. Last I looked, it was 13,767. But that was like 2 or 3 hours ago. Is it 14,000 now? Do you know? Oh, wait, actually, I can just refresh my page here and I can tell you what we have.
Is this on YouTube or what?
Yeah, I'm sorry, YouTube. 13,900. So we're almost there. Almost there.
This is so great.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you,
Yeah,
Matt.
13,949.
How do you see that?
I'm looking on my the back. It's like the back end.
Oh, I don't see it online.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I was going to start keeping track.
Well,
Of what?
You can see the base.
yeah, it just says 13.9.
Oh.
Anyway, so thank you to all the new viewers. And for those of you who are new viewers maybe watching now and you're going, what the hell is this? Well, don't worry. Come March, you won't have to watch this on YouTube. You can go over to our Patreon and watch it if you have a problem with it.
You should enjoy this face. Not everybody gets to see it all the time.
I don't know where you get this idea that it's you that's the problem. This is, Mike, explain it.
What do you want me to explain? That you're the problem?
That's right.
Yeah, it's Matt. It's not you.
It's not me. It's you. Yeah. It's not you. It's me.
I am delightful.
Huh? You are. Everybody loves you.
Yes.
Aw.
Oh, that's what we're saying. The whole group back here agrees. The host is the problem.
Mikey's pissed at me today.
For those of you, he came in hot.
She saw 20 minutes.
He came in hot.
Yeah. What?
You left me out there too.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Mike. Why are you pissed?
I got nothing to say.
Tell him.
Cut it out.
Tell him. I'm not going to cut it out.
Matt, you're terrible with communicating, and people come here because you say, "Oh, get here at 4:00," and I'm here 5 minutes early, and I can't get inside. I call you. I text you. I sent a carrier pigeon. I did basically everything I could.
Right.
Smoke signals. I cried in a fetal position.
Now, how am I going to know that?
You've heard me cry multiple times.
Not
know this
through the
sound,
walls.
like a mama bird.
Not
you know my
through the
sound.
walls, Mikey.
Yeah, that's my fault.
So when I texted that I was here, he texted back, "Yay!"
No, she texted me and I'm like, "Oh, she's here," and I put my thumb down to reply, and like those auto replies that like, "Yay, great, good." I hit yay, and I'm like, "Oh my god, she's gonna think I'm weird." I'm like, "Stop!" And I couldn't stop it in time.
Yay.
Well,
yay.
So you were upset because you were here. Now, do you know what was going on in here?
No, I wasn't in here. How the hell could I know? You wouldn't answer the phone.
You don't know. I'm at 4:00. Court, you were with me. We're trying to get a microphone. That microphone that you're talking in now. We're trying to get it on there. There was a problem with the apparati, and I'm not looking at my phone. My phone was in here on the table, and it was a failure of the goddamn doorbell. That's the problem. And I'm going to get a new doorbell.
So you've known the doorbell has been a problem
for months,
right?
Literally months.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. So I'll have my secretary run out to Staples and get a new one. How about that? Oh, wait, I don't have one. I'm my secretary who also has to clean the toilet.
Do we have like a violin? Like
he looks at me.
World's smallest violin. There you go. Mikey's got it back.
Let's see. Maybe
my
this will
father
help.
would do. He'd do this, and I'm like, "Oh,
there's my violin."
No,
that's a banjo.
That's not going to work.
It's not sad enough.
That's not sad enough. I don't think I have anything sad on here.
Look at the frozen picture on our screen. That's pretty sad.
I was waiting for it.
Is that sad?
Hi, guys.
Poor little Maddie, stuck on the internet.
Frozen in time.
Will the viewers stay? Will they go?
Like the glacial waters of Alaska.
Do it as Wendell Clarkson.
Poor Matt. Frozen on the screen. Like the glacial waters of Alaska. Alaskan Cruise Lines. The best way to freeze your nuts off.
All right. Anyway, we were talking about something important, not Mikey's gripes. And then also we have 3 live in-person shows at the Seminary this year, Seminary Ridge Museum and Education Center. April 19th, April 26th, May 3rd. Save the date. The tickets will go on sale soon. And we're looking for a small audience. I'll tell you what happened. I went to see the History Things podcast during the 24 Hours of Hell up back in November.
Yep.
For what do they call it? The Giving Spree.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a show there. Now, when we had done a show there in the same room and we set it up differently and we squeezed like 60 people in there, which was hot.
Yeah.
Halitosis ran rampant and everybody knew it. And it's hard to see everybody. It's hard for people to see us and everything like that. It was not the best setup, but I wanted to get the sound of a lot of people.
Yeah,
right?
Makes sense.
Well, when I'm in there, and Mikey Lentz was there, 6 Questions was there with me, and we started watching the show. What'd you say? There's like 12 people in the audience?
If that.
5 people, 6, 8, 9, somewhere between 5 and 12, I would say, right? Small group of people. But I found it to be very good. especially if Mike is in the audience because he's got a good laugh.
He does have a good laugh.
And so and it carries, but there's other laugh. And the acoustics of the room make it seem like there's more people.
Well,
so I was like, I don't need 60 people to make it sound like a big audience. I could just get 12 and set it up this way. Plus, I liked the intimacy of a smaller audience, right? Not always, but in this case, at that place, I certainly like that idea better. So what we're going to do is we're going to record our anniversary shows over at the Seminary this year. They will come out on July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, but it's the Ask a Guide format. And I believe we have Jim Pangburn, Jim Hessler, and I want to say Charlie Fennell, I believe. I have to look and see who the third is. I don't remember. It's on my calendar somewhere. And so what we're going to do is, like I said, it's an Ask a Guide. And instead of people submitting them ahead of time, the questions, we're going to let you stand up and ask the guide yourself.
Oh my.
In the audience, right? And also hopefully kind of get a little back and forth going with them, which is what we're trying to do with the Ask a Gettysburg Guide shows more and more. Now, one of the things that we did is, a first lieutenant over on Patreon gets to watch shows being recorded live. Those are those live streams that we did with Charlie this week and Gary. Well, no, that was free, but it doesn't matter. And so the problem is we do them during the day. There's only, I think, 90 something first lieutenants, and most of them are probably working. Yeah. So if we get, let's say, if we get a dozen people watching us live, that's pretty good. Now, out of that half a dozen, some of them might be listening in the background while at work, unable to call in. And also out of that group, there are people who would never call in to save their life because they're shy. So the chances of getting people to call are slimmer. So I said, well, the whole thing I'm trying to do is really kind of make this more grassroots. I want people to feel like they can access these people, this information, all that stuff. And of course, I have to make a living. So there's things I have to charge for. But when I can't, or when I don't have to, I'll try to make things free. And so I said to the patrons, I go, listen, here's what I'm trying to do. I need to get more people calling and I need to get more interaction from the audience. So I'm going to do the Ask a Guides live. Also, we're starting to do more video stuff. And in the winter, we record like 85% of the shows for the year by end of March.
You're a machine. Yeah,
right. And so I can't take on video work and still keep up that schedule. So I said to Dave, I go, well, Dave, maybe we just need to make the Ask a Guides live. Let's record a handful in the winter in case somebody cancels at the last minute, and then we'll just run that. But let's make them live twice a month.
Yeah.
Tuesdays at 7.
To do?
Huh?
Is that harder to do?
Well, apparently, if everything freezes, I mean, we got to figure out why that does that. But I always record anyway. But is it harder to do? No, it'll be basically like this. We'll run, we'll have the break, the one commercial break. But it'll be live. People will call in, and also we can't monitor the comments because it's a lot of people. People having conversations with each other. Sometimes questions get glossed over because to me on my screen it all looks the same and I can't be focusing on that.
Yeah.
I got to focus on the guest and running the show. However, super chats are highlighted and they're made big and there's a little place for them right at the top of the chat box that I'm looking in, and so I can see them. And so if you don't want to call in because you're too shy, but you do have a question to ask and you want to put it in the comments, unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to do it as a super chat. A, to be noticed, but B, I'm feeding everybody because we're going to do them at 7 p.m. and I'm going to ask everybody to come at 6 p.m. I could do that once in a while with what we make off of Addressing Gettysburg. I can't do that twice a month. And we're going to have people in the back. Now, I'm going to just say this. People in the back that I'll feed are going to be whoever's running the camera, whoever's assisting the person running the camera, and the guide and myself. Okay.
Everybody else is a freeloader.
Everybody else is welcome to come in, but you got to bring your own food because I can't So, and as always, like we love having a peanut gallery. Everybody's welcome to do that, but I can't, because then the next thing you know, I got 8 people showing up, and then I got to get 4 pizzas instead of 1. So that's it. I would love to do more, but I'm not made of what they call money.
Are you doing that during the week?
It'll be Tuesdays at 7. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Every other Tuesday at 7. I think we'll do first and third or something like that. I'm not sure yet how. Oh, well, Dave's got it scheduled. So whatever he's got it scheduled, that's what we're going to try to maintain. And of course, we have some recorded as well. So if somebody can't come at the last minute, then there we go. Okay. All right. And
sounds like a great plan.
Yes. And lots of great plans are all over the place. And then once we try to implement them, they fall apart. So we'll see.
Stop it.
We'll see. Well, it's a little ambitious. It's an ambitious year, but also, let freedom ring, ladies and gentlemen, because the Explore Act says we can get an idea on a Friday and shoot it on the battlefield on Saturday. That is the beauty of this, because that was the thing that the whole permitting thing really killed was, besides free speech, creativity.
Well, do you think it was because they lost a lot of travel bloggers?
I don't think it's really any concern about are you talking? No, they don't care about free advertising. No, the government doesn't care about free advertising. They can take your money with a gun.
But maybe the parks do.
The parks don't care about that.
Okay.
I've offered it to them for years. They don't care. No, here's what it is. It's unconstitutional. The old law was unconstitutional by today's standards, not because the Constitution has changed, but because the world has changed, and everybody has a movie studio in their pocket, and everybody has the ability to have their own TV channel on YouTube. And you can't tell me or JD or someone else simply because they're prominent or reachable that they have to get a permit, while an 8th grader can take a school trip here. And by the way, there's a lot of 8th graders making a lot of money with their goofy little videos.
I know,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. So if it's about money, then you need to be going after the 8th graders too. You can't go after everybody. It's unpoliceable. So it becomes an enforcement thing, and then there's the whole speech thing. And there was an injunction against this already. There was some group that has brought like a class action suit, and if you join the group, part of the membership is you get to use this injunction. So I was just about to join it, and then I heard that Biden just signed it into law, and I was like, oh, I don't need to do the injunction anymore. So, so I think that's what it was. And so Congress finally, updated it. That's really what it was. And it also does things for special use permits, a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. It doesn't just do film permits. There's a lot of things covered in there. So I suggest you go and you look it up and read the rest of it. I only cared about the film permits, to be honest with you. Let's see. Oh, Marie Bingaman, she sent a super chat already. Thank you, Marie.
She's so nice.
And with 3 cups of coffee, it looks like. So there we go. Thank you, Marie.
That's how you do a super chat.
I appreciate it. That's how you do it there. Oh, Michael 6 Questions did that like this, he said. So Michael 6 Questions Lens did a little, what do you call that? Example. Thank you. So thank you very much. So that's what we're going to do.
We're so out of practice with this, we can't think of regular English words.
I know. Isn't it amazing? All right. I think that's all I wanted to tell everybody.
Poor Cindy has been sitting here so patiently.
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
I'm great.
How was your day at work?
Great.
Did we tell the audience what your new job yet? I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Did you?
I'm trying to remember on the last show.
It was the week before you started, and we all clapped.
Did we?
But let's do it again.
Yeah,
well,
we did.
Cindy is now, what is your title? Because there's the title that...
A sales manager.
She's the head of sales.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, don't be modest. At the Barn Resort, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
Basically, the head honcho.
So you best be believing we'll be doing some stuff at the Barn Resort more often.
As everybody should.
Anyway, the buffet there is very good.
It is very good.
Buffets are kind of like...
Is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the mac and cheese.
Say it's been improving daily. So.
That's great.
Yeah.
And it was good to begin with. So imagine how we maybe... Too bad it's not open after the show, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
No.
We need to
just go somewhere once without having to do a show. That would be wonderful. Well, we've got another month, so why don't we just do that?
Yeah. What? Hang out on Thursdays without having a show?
Yep.
They have trivia on Thursdays. So at Cellar 75, which is the coolest bar in town, by the way.
It is the coolest bar in town.
What kind of trivia?
Literally, the bar top is the coolest.
I just think it's general trivia, but I don't
not
know
about
if
generals.
They have not about generals. General trivia.
Marie says, Chad and I love the buffet.
It is very good.
Marie.
It's the best salad bar you can get anywhere.
The most extensive salad bar.
So if you love salad bars like I do.
And the
But the hot food is great.
The dessert is really good too.
Well, of course.
Yeah. Well, not of course. Sometimes.
Carving stations. So
yes, you learn how to
rib on
carve.
Friday, every Friday, prime rib included in your buffet price.
Yummy.
You know, it's funny. To me, prime rib was always an old man thing, but now I love prime rib because I'm an old man. I was like, oh, okay, where's that prime rib?
Yeah.
Oh, it's prime rib Fridays. Let's go to the buffet.
Let me put my belt on.
Yeah, and then I just gum
Up
it.
here underneath your...
Yeah, I pull the belt up to my sternum. Yeah, waddle in. All right, so you know what time it is then.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. Here's AG Today's lead anchor, Bethany Yingling, with current events and sidewalk conditions.
Hold on, before we get to the news,
redo
I
that
forgot to
one, too.
do this anyway. And I'm sorry. So I came to the studio today, and Mike, if you don't mind, going to camera 6. I came to the studio today, and there was a box outside addressed to me, and I wasn't expecting anything. And so, just so you know, every time there's a box addressed to me that I'm not expecting, I assume it's a bomb. And so I very cautiously opened it, and I said, I better videotape this
just in case
as
for
evidence, and hopefully, well, you'll see. Here we go.
Okay, so this package just came, and I'm not expecting anything, so I always assume it's a bomb. So I'm doing a video as evidence, just in case this blows up in my face and I die. Hopefully the phone survives. All right, so I'm going to step back. Okay. So far, so good. Oh. Okay, good. Well, it could be a bomb underneath it still, but it looks like we got a book.
It was lovingly packaged.
Yes.
The Unvanquished by Patrick O'Donnell. Told the story of Lincoln's Special Forces manhunt for Mosby's Rangers and the Shadow War that forged America's special operation. Ooh, that's cool. Ooh. And then we got... Now we're talking.
Cookies.
Right after I cut out sugar again. Damn it. But doesn't mean I can't taste it. All of it.
Give me some.
Okay, so this
we
is
got homemade cookies.
They sure don't look like
and
mixed
we got a
nuts or
card here,
cashews.
so let's see.
So, okay, so then we have a card.
I think we're okay.
And I'm going to open it. I ripped open the envelope before, but I didn't read it because I was like, let me read it for the first time on the show. Hopefully there's nothing horrible in here. Dearest Matt, wishing you the very best this holiday season. I guess I haven't been here in a while. This Civil War book is one of the only I have read several times. I certainly hope you will enjoy it as much as I have. I feel the author, Mr. O'Donnell, and you honor the sacrifice these men did for all of us and our country on a daily basis. I hope one day to meet you as you contribute so much for the betterment of all who you touch. Wow, that is very nice to say. Mike's rolling his eyes. Not you, 6 questions. I know you believe that.
Fold the card.
I'm just folding it. So, cheerful greetings during this holiday season. Best wishes and kindest regards, Mark Schwartz. Mark, thank you very much. Mark is where from? Texas, I think it is. Yes, from Texas. Thank you very much for that, Mark. It's very kind of you. I love that. And so, here, I would like to, Debbie, if you want to come in.
Oh, thank goodness I'm starving.
This is for you girls. Debbie, I love to share my loot with people, especially when it's food and sugary, because then I don't eat it all. That's for you guys in the back there. I think they're not actually cashews.
Really?
Right, yeah. It's just, he put that in the
Look
thing
at
there.
that person knows
Ooh,
how to use
let me try
chocolate
one.
chips.
Let me try one. No, I'm not touching yours.
Well, screw
Okay,
you.
here we go. All right, so now.
And now, all the news that's fit to print and a good deal that's not. Here's AG Today's lead anchor Bethany Yingling with current events and sidewalk conditions.
Historic school building turned luxury hotel closes its longtime restaurant.
Oh.
Thaddeus Stevens Society celebrates a successful 2024 and moves on to new projects in 2025.
Update on the case from June 2024. Over 200 charges filed in horrific Adams County school bus case.
New standalone chain restaurant planned in Strabane Township. All this and more in today's news.
All right, girls, what's the news?
Oh, you're going to wait 1 second while I take a bite of a cookie. So the first, well, I'll start the first.
Well, just let me answer Jeffrey. The party was very nice, Jeffrey. A lot of people, 117, showed up at the barn for our Christmas party. 117, and everybody ate. I don't think I got to really say hi to everybody. I tried, but I don't think there were some people I saw that I never got to.
And some people we didn't see.
Some people we did, like Jen Murray and Mike Walker showed up and didn't.
For 39 seconds.
We were making fun of them the other night because they came to our housewarming party too and stayed a total of 39 minutes. Didn't let us know they were leaving. And we just turned around looking for them and they weren't there. And then we went out to dinner with them last week. We're like, what's up with that? And they're like, well, that's our thing. They just show up.
That's what we do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I'm sure many of you have heard by now, but the Federal Point Inn located at 75 Springs Avenue in Adams County, Gettysburg was originally, well, it was built as the Mead School. Okay, let's get to it. So they closed their longtime restaurant. The Point Pub is their on-site restaurant, but they also had the Federal Point Grill, which was previously called Dunlap's Restaurant. Last week, the owners announced on Facebook that they will be closing down the Federal Point Grill on Sunday, January 5th. Quote, this space, once home to Dunlap's Restaurant, has been a gathering place in our community. However, the challenges of sustaining a restaurant operation have led us to make this difficult decision, the Federal Point Grill previously shared on Facebook. Since posting this announcement last week, their Facebook page has been taken offline. According to the Federal Point Grill, moving forward, they plan to focus on expanding their hotel operation. They say plans to renovate the former restaurant space into additional guest rooms is underway. It is important to mention that although the Federal Point Grill is closed, the Point Pub, located inside the inn's main building, will remain open and operational. And the hours of the Point Pub are Mondays through Saturdays, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. Food is served from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Thank you for your continued support, and please stay tuned for updates as we begin this new phase, said the Federal Point Grill.
So that's sad. Dunlap's, obviously it was here a long time, and it is like a neighborhood. You can go there on anytime. Go to lunchtime, any time of the week, and you see somebody and hey, how you doing?
I see a lot of guides in there.
Lots of guides in there. And people go there after church on Sundays. And it is sad to see. I was saying to Cindy that some of the wait staff, it's like generational. I won't say people's names, but I know one of them for almost 20 years, and her sister works there, and I think her son works there, or something like that. And so it's sad to see something like that go. It kind of but and it's going to be used for rooms, right?
Mm-hmm.
More rooms for the Federal Point Inn.
We were talking about it today. I guess it's been a restaurant since 1942.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Not Dunlap's.
No, but a restaurant in that location.
Well, do you know what it was before Dunlap's?
It was like somebody's name. Gosh darn it! I was gonna look it up on my phone, but my phone, of course, died because it's
Bethany's phone.
Because it's Bethany's phone. Because it's an iPhone 6. All right, what's next?
I know.
So Thaddeus Stevens Society has celebrated a great year. They opened their new museum at 46 Chambersburg Street and did all kinds of fun adventures throughout town, and were added, I believe this was their first year as part of the Giving Spree. But one of the things that they are going to look forward to in 2025, and I thought this was very odd. So do you know, Matthew?
Yes.
As a taker of the guide exam.
A feller of the guide exam, yes.
Do you know where Thaddeus Stevens is buried?
In Lancaster, isn't he?
But do you know where in Lancaster?
It's not a very flattering spot, I don't believe.
Well
I don't know the name of the cemetery. I'm not one of these people that remembers names. Mike, how about you? Debbie, anybody?
I know it's in an African American cemetery,
Oh, yeah.
but I don't know the name of it.
And when you say Mike, you're going to have to be more specific.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because
6.
Mike,
Well, I call him Mike. I call you.
Actually, 3 live mics back here.
6 questions.
Yeah, I think Debbie's correct. It's in a traditional African American.
All right. How about Mikey B?
I have no idea.
How about Courtney?
Well, I knew.
It's in an African American cemetery.
But okay, does it have a name, everybody?
Yes,
I heard.
it does. But it's also not here.
I heard.
It's in Lancaster.
Yeah,
It's in Lancaster. I got that part right. All right, go
It's
ahead.
in the Schreiner Concord Cemetery in Lancaster, where Stevens chose to be buried in 1868 because it was one of the few cemeteries not racially restrictive at the time.
That's right. That's right.
The 1 acre, so it's small, burial ground is also the final resting place of several Civil War veterans. It has lacked formal ownership for decades and has depended on volunteers and occasional municipal support for maintenance. And the society's goal is to establish a nonprofit association and create a permanent endowment to ensure the site's continuous care.
Nice.
They will need to raise $25,000 to create the endowment fund and secure tax-exempt nonprofit status for the cemetery, which is their top priority for the next year. So if you are a fan of old Thaddeus Stevens,
This is a serious look right there.
yeah, they are going to go start raising money for the cemetery in order to help with the upkeep of maintenance. So this is a good time if you have a couple extra dollars in your pocket and want to donate something towards that goal.
How do they do that?
You can do it through the Thaddeus Stevens Society, which I cut off that part, but there's a join or donate at the ThaddeusStevensSociety.com/projects or send the check to the Thaddeus Stevens Society at 46 Chambersburg Street in Gettysburg.
Marie,
you can
yes.
also make them in person at the museum.
Marie, the prime rib is at dinner time, yes.
Oh my goodness. I also wanted to give a shout out to a family member of a loyal listener.
It's a weird
is that my shout out sound?
Go ahead.
There was a purpose behind why I was making
I'm
that
sorry.
noise,
Yeah,
but
I'm
you've
sorry.
always continue to overlook
I'm
that.
sorry.
There's a Native American man with a tear coming down because of you. By the way, I had an allergic reaction today too at work. So
what was it too?
Oh, man. Coconut.
And did your voice do that?
Yeah.
Really?
They had a cake and nobody chose to mention that it had coconut in it.
How do you not mention coconut? I mean, that's like
Did you know that you're allergic to nuts?
I didn't know I was allergic to coconut until I started eating. I don't have coconut very often. I don't like coconut.
Oh.
But poor people are dying in horrible ways. Shout out. I'm doing a shout out.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Good Lord. So on
Bethany,
I could house that loaf.
houses and loaves, she usually takes
I usually take smaller bites. Oh my God, my gut hurts.
But when she cracks up, she jokes and snorts. How lucky are we to know a broad like Bethany?
All of you love me.
Okay, go ahead.
So on New Year's Eve,
Yes.
the Thaddeus Stevens Society held a contest for the Thaddeus Stevens lookalike contest. And the winner of the...
Tommy Lee Jones.
No.
Oh.
Helena Umstad. Jamie and Jordan's daughter.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Helena. That's cute.
I know. It was super cute. So she got to stand up there with him and...
That's great.
Be recognized as the
adorable.
winner of the contest. It was super cute.
Yeah.
I was not there, but Uncle told me all about it. Uncle got to hang out with the Umstad family for New Year's Eve.
You mean they got to hang out with him?
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
So that was the end of that. Go ahead next.
Well, it's going to be the not so great story. So
We are rusty, aren't we?
Yeah.
this is the
Please
update
move
on the
on to
case
the next story.
from June 2024. So this is the school bus case. So brace yourself.
Wait.
But the animals.
Animal
Oh my
bestiality.
God. Oh my God. Wait, this one is something. Go ahead.
More than 200 animal abuse charges were filed against 2 people Tuesday in the horrific Adams County
Yes.
school bus case where multiple animals were sexually abused, officials say. Sean Hirschbein, I believe is how you say it, 51, and Deanna Huff, 64, both of Georgia, were both charged following the
Georgia. I thought they were
Yes.
West Virginia.
Well, hold on.
Oh, okay.
Following the 6-month investigation by Eastern Adams Regional Police, the Adams County District Attorney's Office announced. So Hirschbein is currently incarcerated in West Virginia. Officials are still looking for Huff, so anyone with information on her whereabouts can contact Detective Keller at 717-624-1614. There were 30 birds, including ducks, chickens, and turkeys, 3 German shepherds, 1 Australian shepherd, a bull, and a pony found living in what police described as uninhabitable and horrifying conditions on the school bus. The bus was found by police on June 15th, just after 8:30 p.m., after it broke down at the intersection of Red Hill Road and Hanover Street. Hirschbein and his girlfriend Huff were trying to move the bus off the roadway. It's when police found that he was wanted in West Virginia for allegedly distributing bestiality and took him into custody. There was a phone number on the bus that was Googled by police, and it took them to 2 different inappropriate websites that were allegedly associated.
A phone number?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it
was listed on the site.
It was listed.
Oh, gotcha.
And it was
gosh.
associated with Hirschbein. Some of the animals were used for bestiality purposes, where people would Hirschbein would let them watch. So there you go.
Oh, God. All right. Okay.
Several animals, unfortunately, had to be put down. They examined a lot of them. Many of them were not being fed. When Huff was questioned twice by police, they say she changed her story about the duo wanting to start a petting zoo for kids on the bus. When it was brought up about her and Hirschbein being charged in New York, she denied the allegations that Hirschbein was doing what he was doing and said that charges were dismissed. But
in New York too?
Yes.
Oh my God.
But Hirschbein's wasn't. So he denied to speak with police regarding the animals on the bus. He faces a total of 123 charges, while Huff faces a total of 129 charges that include aggravated cruelty to animals, criminal conspiracy, and 2 firearms charges. Misdemeanor charges including criminal conspiracy, cruelty to animals, neglect of animals, and vet care. Online court records show Assistant DA Kyle Reuter will prosecute the case. So thankfully, they are going to be held accountable. At least they need to find Huff first, but,
that is
terrible.
The most disturbing story I've heard in a very long time.
Very long time, yes.
And I watch
It is
true
awful.
crime documentaries.
Mhm.
That's freaking disturbing.
Yeah.
It
So-
makes me wish that in some cases we had summary executions. You know?
When I first read the article back in June,
We read it on the show.
think that it was what it was at first.
Yeah.
There was a lot of confusion with the story.
Oh, did we just
beginning.
draw conclusions? Is that
No,
they
it was,
weren't sure what had happened, but there was evidence that there might have happened, and it wasn't until later when they found the site.
And then remember, they also took in the animals at the Adams County
Right,
SPCA,
right.
and then
upon medical,
people got what did they get?
the skin
Yeah.
condition. I forget now.
Remember, they had to close it.
had to
they
close
closed it
it.
to the public because they all came down with
Scabies?
Scabies.
Yes, because some of the animals were infected. So then they had to treat all the animals, so on and so forth. Had to close it for a while. It was terrible.
petting zoo part is what disturbs me the most.
Yeah.
Because as the parent of a child, you worry about where you take your kid and what they're exposed to
sure.
and who's around you.
I know, but honestly, I don't think that people would buy into the whole petting zoo on a bus thing, but
believe me, there are stupid people around every corner.
Yeah.
Petting zoo on a bus.
Especially considering the conditions that bus.
Yeah,
like the pictures were online.
Exactly. Who's like, come on, kids, let's go see the petting zoo. And it's just like that condition that we saw. Oh, it was so nasty.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
Well, thanks for the uplifting story, ladies.
Yeah, we really enjoy telling you about stuff. I swear to you, you make up these laughs.
I do not.
I could house that loaf.
That was really
None
you.
of those are me.
No, that was you. All right, go ahead.
The next being Popeyes. Do you know Popeyes?
The chicken place?
The chicken place.
What about it?
I don't know.
It's coming to Strabane Township.
Does it rival Royal Farms for you?
No, Royal Farms is the best by far.
So,
by far.
As we reported,
Let's get a vote in the back. Royal Farms, Popeyes, or Kif's?
Oh, why is that even in there?
It's still fried chicken. All right. Royal Farms or Popeyes. Mikey B.
Popeyes, please.
Oof. Okay.
I just told you I've never had Royal Farms.
Oh, well, so you really can't.
By default.
Okay, by default.
Popeyes,
Fine. Go ahead, Mikey L. 6 questions.
Well, Chick-fil-A wasn't on the list.
Correct.
If you're not going to do that, I'm going to go Popeye.
Really?
Popeyes is good.
I've never been.
No,
to
Popeyes is good, but
I know
better than Royal Farms.
So I think though it also depends on when people have visited. Because honestly, as you know, I've had some negative experiences.
I had some Rofo.
Some
in
dry
Hanover.
Rofo
Yeah,
chicken.
it was dry and chewy. You're right. Okay. All right. Court Micker, how about you?
What we really need is a Chipotle.
Well, project a little more, please.
Not wrong.
What we need is a what?
Chipotle. Which is not
Chipotle.
fried chicken.
That's
by the
not
way.
fried chicken, Courtney.
Yeah.
Popeyes? Really?
I've never been to a Popeyes.
It's the most
have
insane
not?
group of people I've ever. Okay, well, I'm going to
It's
try
very good.
Popeyes again. I haven't had it in like 20 years.
Well, there will be one opening.
And where is it?
Well, you know what? Previously, we reported that there is going to be a construction of an Aldi's.
Yes, that is currently almost done.
Yeah, it's almost done. Near the where Camp Letterman was.
Yeah.
Now this will be part of that. So originally the Aldi's complex was going to be the Aldi's and then like a shopping complex, and it was all going to be connected.
Okay.
They submitted a plan to change that.
Right.
Same square footage, but there will now be an Aldi's and a standalone restaurant, that restaurant being Popeyes. Nothing changes as far as the mixed use and all that kind of fun stuff. So, but as I was saying to Matthew earlier, are you aware, and this is what blows my mind, that parcel of land is 30 acres? It must go up over the hill, too.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be 226 apartments in a complex known as the Reserve at Rock Creek.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes, that's one of the two that will be right in that general area.
That's sad.
No.
Yeah, no, it is sad, Cam.
Yep.
All right. So, Adams County Bar and Grill has liquor license suspended after pandemic and other violations. So this is interesting. A local bar and grill in Adams County recently had its liquor license suspended due to COVID-19 related and other citations dating back to 2020 and 2021.
Okay.
This is back on January 2nd, 2025, the Bourbon Mill.
Wow.
Located at
2025.
Yeah.
It just happened.
It just happened. Located at 4797 York Road in New Oxford.
Oh, yeah.
Shared on Facebook that their liquor license would be suspended for 45 days, restricting their ability to sell alcoholic beverages for a period of time. We sadly learned at the beginning of this week that the PA Liquor Control Board will be suspending our liquor license for 45 days, starting on Monday, January 6th until Thursday, February 20th.
Because
suspension is due to COVID mask violations from 2020 and
Oh my
2021.
God.
Bourbon Mill said on a Facebook post that has since been deleted. According to court records, they were cited multiple times for violating orders and mandates by then Governor Tom Wolf and or Secretary of Health during the pandemic, Violations cited included violating mask mandates, serving patrons indoors, and not adhering to social distancing guidelines.
They purposely.
That's like you're being fined for not believing in Santa Claus. Go ahead.
Like at the time of the pandemic when they were doing all of this stuff, like I remember Dad saying to me that he was going to go there because it was the only place advertising that you could go and not wear a mask.
It should be noted that this suspension is a result of citations issued by the Pennsylvania State Police Bureau of Liquor Control Enforcement, which is the BLCE, which is responsible for enforcing liquor laws across the Keystone State. It is separate from the PLCB.
Which is the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board?
Correct. The decision to suspend Bourbon Mill's license came after an administrative law judge reviewed the BLCE's citations. The ALJ, which is the administrative law judge, then ordered the establishment to pay $5,700 fine and serve the 45-day suspension. They did not appeal, but penalties were upheld by the PLCB's 3 board members, which could have hypothetically overturned the decision, but it didn't because they agreed. So, yeah.
Clown show. What else is there?
Still coming along.
All right.
Were you downtown?
Yes.
On late Tuesday into Wednesday morning?
No.
Apparently the lights went out in Georgia.
Oh no. In Gettysburg, Georgia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Georgia. Oh my God. What happened?
There was a power outage affecting the streetlights on Lincoln Square. Streetlights went out on the southern side of the square and up Baltimore Street to the Middle Street intersection sometime late Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning. They don't know. Which is weird to me. Don't you think somebody would have said, hey, your lights are out? I don't know.
Everybody turns their lights out super early. So in town.
Not just the street lights.
Oh, well.
Not the people's lights.
What section was this?
The southern side of the square and up Baltimore Street to the Middle Street intersection.
Yeah, you would notice that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cause of the outage may have been a power surge that tripped the breaker, although that possibility has not been confirmed yet. And the circuit breaker controlling those streetlights was reset Wednesday morning around 5:30 a.m. and the lights were back on until the electronic photo control system shut them off automatically after sunrise.
Amazing.
So I pulled this article. The lights went out.
Was it just the streetlights, or was it like
the streetlights?
Okay.
But what I find fascinating about that is no one seems to know. They didn't know they were off.
Right, because who's going to notice?
Nobody's out in town.
That's a good point. When you close all the businesses at 5 o'clock,
nobody goes out.
Yeah.
They don't know why it happened.
Are they investigating?
Apparently so.
Wow. Can't wait to find out what the result of this investigation is.
Fire destroys home on property at Adams County Towing Service. I don't know if anybody heard about this one. It's very short, but then I have a little something to add.
Oh, I saw the pictures of that. Yeah.
A house on an Adams County Towing Service property was destroyed after flames ripped through it on Friday afternoon. Firefighters were called to the scene of the blaze at the home of Road Rangers Towing and Recovery Services property along Biglerville Road in Cumberland Township as of 12:48 p.m. There were 3 people inside the home at the time of the fire, made it out safely. There were no injuries. Several dogs were also home, but made it out safely. No word on what caused the fire. But this same exact property burned to the ground in 2011, I believe. Yeah. Unfortunately, some animals passed in that one. Right? Same family. Yeah. And now this home has burned to the ground.
That's
Isn't that
horrible.
Terrible?
So on that day, a colleague of mine and I were out getting lunch and we saw the smoke on the horizon and we totally went towards it to see where it was because it was on her road home.
Black smoke.
Yeah, it was pretty active.
Dave Johnson of Gettysburg Images apparently was just hanging out at the 1863 there or something, it looked like, and he got a shot of it from the balcony. And he sent it to me, and I was like, what the hell's this? And he goes, a fire. And I go, I know it's a fire, Dave. Okay.
So in the one of the articles that was pretty early on, I know one of the people who live in the home had said something along the lines of that they called 911 as soon as they heard a smoke detector go off even though they hadn't gone to investigate yet because this had happened before. So they were like, and so the fire department was applauding that and saying, you absolutely should. It doesn't matter if you know that there's a fire for sure. If there's a reason to suspect it, you need to call and then you can investigate. So that got them there quicker. It didn't help in this situation, but like, could you imagine them being, it was like multiple different fire companies that had responded.
Didn't they say like
it was a lot
from Maryland? They were bringing some up.
I mean, I almost feel like it was over 20, if I'm not mistaken. There were a lot of fire companies that had responded. So it was a pretty big one.
By the way, Garrick's ration review has a great point. Roy Rogers fried chicken. They had great fried chicken.
I never had that.
And I love the roast beef sandwiches.
They do have good roast beef.
Thank you.
I think the only Roy Rogers around here is on the Turnpike.
They're on rest stops. They're only rest stops now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Good.
Are you done?
With that one, yes.
Okay. Michelle Lopez, 44 of Gettysburg, was charged with 2 counts of felony aggravated assault, misdemeanor counts of a resisting arrest, and obstructing law enforcement by after she allegedly struck police officer in the face with a pair of handcuffs. The charges stem from an incident in Gettysburg Borough that took place on the morning of January 6th. According to an affidavit of probable cause filed by the Gettysburg Borough Police. At the time of the January incident, Lopez was already awaiting a plea hearing in the Adams County Court of Common Pleas for a previous incident when the police were called to an apartment building in the 100 block of North Main Street in Biglerville for a report of a woman driving her vehicle into the building and attempting to set it on fire.
Jesus.
So she's had multiple calls on her for domestic abuse, things like that. But she, the last straw out of all of that was her throwing handcuffs at a police officer and hitting him in the face.
So did she take these handcuffs from him and throw them at him?
So.
Wow. Old Officer Butterfingers there, right?
So we are having a rash of very odd,
stupid crimes.
Yeah. Like what I would call awkward city crimes.
Well, it's funny because now that we live out in the sticks, when I come into Gettysburg, it doesn't feel like Gettysburg anymore. Like it hasn't for a while. Like it has changed. Like when I first started coming here, it felt like Mayberry. It doesn't anymore. Yeah. I don't know what it feels like. It feels like Judge Dredd or something. Like it's different. Yeah, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but like it's a different vibe I get, and that's just time moving on, right? Like this, I'm no longer
a part of the crowd. Yeah.
And no. I'm saying like the time when I started coming here. I was young, everything was new. That's what's fresh in your mind, right? But now when you get older, now there's other young, new people here and they're doing their thing. When we were doing it, like we were still like people who started businesses in the 60s were still running their businesses here. So it's now, and they're all retired or passed on.
Yeah.
And now, so it's a different, it's not a generation. I guess it is, a different generation that's starting things. So it's just completely different. And it does kind of have a city feel more than that small town feel that we all know and love.
It's just because the types of crimes are very like
stupid.
Like I feel like in small towns, having grown up in one, that a lot of times these kind of things don't happen because everybody knows everybody.
Right.
And you don't want to be embarrassed.
Right. That's gone.
We are past that point. Yeah. We have enough people living here now that not everybody knows everybody. And so you can be anonymous and dumb.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. Like, that's why, in a town like Gettysburg, like I try to, when I get a chance, I talk to the cops. So I get to know the cops because I don't know. I feel like in a small town, if you don't know the cops, and they don't know you, like that's silly because it's a small town and they probably live amongst you. And so like, and even in a big town they do, but well, not always. So I don't know. Yeah, it's different. And you're right. It does feel like some of the crimes are also not small townish. We still have the small town stuff, but like some of the crimes, like when you say like they feel like city crimes, they're they're kind of horrendous.
Yeah.
Right?
Like things that you're like, I'm embarrassed to be associated.
Yes.
With
Yes.
that.
Remember a few years ago, a guy was shot behind the Gettysburg Hotel in the alley and ran and collapsed on the stoop of Grace Kelly's salon on York Street. And I was like, Jesus Christ, like what the hell is going on? Now people have gotten shot or stabbed or strangled or whatever, murdered or attempted murder for millions of years. But I don't know. It's just when it hits a town like this, it's different, and it's also few and far between. But it also seems that since I moved back, I've only been back 6 years. I think I've heard of like 2 or 3 shootings. So that's more than I remember from my first stint here.
But our population has increased.
It has. It's all the Amblebrook people. They're bringing the violence.
Very violent crew over there.
It's true. When the population goes up, everything goes crazy. And we're also the county seat. And so a lot of the wards of the state are here and they're not all, they're not always healthy mentally. So yeah, that's sad. Okay, go ahead.
Speaking of, elementary school play in Adams County disrupted after bomb threat and a man was charged. Play at an Adams County elementary school was disrupted when an attendee made a bomb threat causing the building to be evacuated, state police say. Andrew Wick, 32, of Gettysburg, threatened to use a bomb while people were watching a play at the Franklin Township Elementary School located at 870 Old Route 30 in Franklin Township. According to troopers, they were dispatched to the school for apparent out of control at a school event, throwing things and making a bomb threat just after 7 p.m. on March 20th, 2024. This is how long it's taken for him to get charged. The building was evacuated due to the threat. Wick was on stage when troopers arrived, he said he needed a gun. According to the charges, troopers saw he was clearly under the influence of drugs and took him into custody. He was then taken to the hospital. A smoking device that appeared to have been recently used and a THC gummy was allegedly found in Wick's pockets. Troopers noted that the charges that Wick was trespassing on the school property. He faces misdemeanor charges of terroristic threats that caused the evacuation of a building, trespassing, disorderly conduct, and additional drug charges. He also faces a summary charge of public drunkenness or similar misconduct. A preliminary hearing has yet to be scheduled a year later. So,
see, I immediately thought he was the parent of a child there, but trespassing makes it sound like he wasn't there when he shouldn't have been. I mean, all of us.
Well, he could have been the parent of a child, but trespassed.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're there, for
all you have to do to trespass somebody is to decide at any moment, I don't want you here anymore, and tell them to leave. And if they stay, then they're trespassing.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, but all of us as parents have looked at it like, I really feel bad for my kid being up there on stage, but that's taking it to a whole new level. That's like, I mean,
when the parent
do you
want
to
see?
Oh, I can't show it. That's dead.
By the way, Jeffrey Pasnick says, I feel like you all could be reading the Niagara Falls police blotter tonight.
Oh.
So it's just, I think the country's gone insane. So
slightly insane.
Yeah, everybody's stressed and they go nuts. So they do nuts things. All right, what else? Let's eat.
I don't have any more news. I just have some today in history.
Oh, okay. Give us a today in history and then some events. Go ahead.
All right, today in history. On January 9th, 2007, Apple CEO Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone at the Macworld Conference in San Francisco. In 1861, Mississippi became the second state to secede from the Union. In 1916, the World War I Battle of Gallipoli ended with an Ottoman Empire victory as Allied forces withdrew. In 1945, during World War II, American forces began landing on the shores of Lingayen?
Yes, Flingen.
Gulf in the Philippines as the Battle of
why did you read that one?
Yeah,
I can never pronounce it.
How many days in history are there? Like you could do.
Resulting in the Allied victory over Imperial Japanese forces. That was it.
That was it.
I hate all of you.
No,
guess who was born today?
Who was born today?
Joan Baez.
Joan
84.
Baez.
Jimmy Page, as we mentioned earlier. Singer Crystal Gale is 74.
Don't it make my brown eye blue?
Actor
brown eyes.
J.K. Simmons is 70. Who else is on here that we might know? Musician Dave Matthews is 58.
Wow, Dave Matthews and his chemical toilet being emptied off the bridge.
A.J. McLean from the Backstreet Boys is 47. Catherine, Princess of Wales, was born today. She is 43.
Kate, young Kate. She's 43.
Yeah.
Kate Middleton,
Kate
Middleburg.
Middleton.
Yeah. She had cancer, didn't she?
She announced
something in her
she's being
abominable.
That she has abominable cancer.
being treated for abominable cancer.
I need to go home.
I
I'm
know. We
tired.
need to eat. All right. So let's have some events.
A couple of quick things because there's not a whole lot going on.
There is not.
No.
Monday, January 13th from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., our friend Rebecca Foster is back at Sign of the Buck to play. That's 29 Chambersburg Street, Gettysburg. And she has a new toy, the suitcase kick drum, that she's going to be introducing.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God she got one of those.
So she's excited about it. So she'll be back there. Check her out at Sign of the Buck on Monday from 7 to 9.
Dancing with the Local Stars will take place this Friday, January 10th at 7 p.m. at the Majestic Theater. Tickets are still available at gettysburgmajestic.org.
You know, I was asked to do that, and I said, "Are you out of your mind?"
Were you really?
No.
Oh.
Next Saturday, January 18th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., there's a New Year's adoption event at My Pet Store and More alongside Double Dog Day Rescue. That's 44F Natural Springs Road in Gettysburg. So go meet your new family member if you are in search of one.
Even if you're not.
Even if you're not.
Go do it.
I mean, why not?
Why not?
They're so cute.
They are.
All right, what else?
I got nothing.
All right. So just a couple other quick things because I met this person today. Orvis Hill Country Shooting Grounds. Has anybody become familiar with that
Nope,
at all?
never heard of it.
Okay. Well, on January 31st, they are holding their January night shoot. So it's skeet shooting.
Oh.
And they do...
Poor Skeet.
They do it under the black lights
Yeah. Oh,
at night.
that's cool.
So and if you hit it, it looks like fireworks apparently. So it's supposed to be really cool. They do it, I think, once a month, if I'm not mistaken. The next one coming up is January 31st. First flight is 4:45 to 5:15 check-in, a 5:30 shoot, and then dinner they do provide at 7:30. Second starts at 6 o'clock and follows the same thing. So $65 per shooter. It includes 50 targets and dinner. But not included is the gun, cart rental, ammo, and gratuity. So you would have to pay for that if you're doing that. $25 non-shooter dinner option is available as well.
Not bad.
Registration and payment is required by January 29th. Can only be completed using Score Chaser. I'm not sure what that is, but there is a link. So if you go to their Facebook page, which is Orvis Hill Country, ORVIS, you can get to that link to be able to sign up if you want to do that. And they are very nice people, and it looks like a really cool property.
Very good. Very good. Where is that again?
So it's on Fairfield Road, I believe. Don't we pass it sometimes?
I've never seen that name before.
Well, remember I asked you, it's near us somewhere.
Okay.
I will get you the address.
All right. Well, look it up. Google on the thing.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Google
But
on the thing.
Other thing I just wanted to mention, and I'm going to kind of be annoying about the Barn Resort, but we have an event that's actually pretty great that's coming up on March 1st. So just want to tell you about it. It is called A Night Veiled in Excellence. It is going to be on March 1st. It's a Mardi Gras event.
Oh, Mardi Gras.
Yes. So it's from 7 to 10 p.m. It is a Mardi Gras gala. It is black tie and masks that are encouraged. So it is a fancy attire. Live music and dancing, cocktail reception, a great cuisine that they are planning. I can tell you the menu is going to be awesome. A silent auction will be there, butlered hors d'oeuvres, a photo booth, cash bar, party favors, $75 per person. And the benefits or the proceeds are going to benefit for the silent auction. There's a nonprofit called Johnny's Flight. And so this particular nonprofit was just set up in the summer of last year because I believe he was in middle school at the time, he committed suicide, and he was on the spectrum, but he was also bullied pretty relentlessly. And so they are trying to bring awareness and enact some legislation and things like that to help with those types of causes, and they're great people. So we're trying to raise some money for a good cause there. So check
Very
that
good.
out from the Barn Resort.
Very good. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Mikey. Thank you, Court. Yes, Mikey, what?
Can we circle back to the on this day? Can you connect the Battle of Gallipoli to the Battle of Gettysburg?
Are you asking
Frantically
Bethany?
looking through her
Bethany could
papers.
barely pronounce Vichy, France.
There's a direct connection of people
Vichy
from
France
the Battle
wasn't
of
in my.
Go ahead, Mike. Tell us.
Battle
Show
of
off your
Gallipoli.
knowledge.
So the first Lord of the Admiralty was Winston Churchill.
Yes.
And his great-grandfather
Oh,
on
yeah.
his mother's side was Aaron Jerome, who was a Signal Corps officer.
Aaron Brainerd
attached
Jerome, right here.
To John Buford up in the cupola. of the
Yes,
seminary.
yes. I actually forgot that.
There you go.
Thank you, Mike. I love that. That's beautiful. That's
God.
beautiful.
No, thank
Good
you.
job.
Thank you.
See, and that's why I asked Mike to be part of the show, folks, because he's got that stuff. What do you call that? Knowledge.
Stuff useless.
It's not knowledge. It's not useless.
Smarticles.
He's got smarticles, and they hang low. All right, so we're going to get going now. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Court. Thank you, all you guys. Congratulations to Mike and Debbie for scoring high and moving on and all that other stuff. Congratulations to all the rest of you who have, and I will see you in a month. We will see you in a month. Bye.
AG Today's opening theme is written and performed by Colin Southfield and the Mushroom Country Band. Bumper music is arranged and performed by Billy Webster and sometimes Kevin McLeod. AG Today is produced by Matt Cowlery, Bethany Yingling, Debbie Jones, and Cindy Compton. Engineered by Colby Sumner and maybe sometimes someone else. Guest accommodations are provided by the guests themselves. We'll need a couple thousand patrons to be able to put people up in hotels. Speaking of patrons, maybe you'd like to become one. You'll find plenty of perks over there, not to mention hundreds of episodes that will help you further your Gettysburg and Civil War education. So go to patreon.com/addressinggettysburg. I'm Huevos Grande, the voice of Addressing Gettysburg. Thanks for listening.
There's been Protestant. Yeah, you forgot. Oh, shit.
And you're going diarrhea. Chick-fil-A corporate is very protective of their taste profile.
How is that load?
Attention blue-collar workers! Faster! Faster! Do it! Do it!
Foods aren't broadcasting.
Do it!